Hello everyone, and welcome to the Nethergreen Podcast. Today I'm your host, Hector Mansuelas, and we also have...
Bradley.
Hello Bradley. So
You can call me Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley, yeah. I guess, yeah, technically, yeah. If your name was Bradley, you would be Mr. Bradley.
Yeah. And if anyone's like, okay, is it your first name, your last name? I'll just be like, hey, actually, it's mind your own fucking business, actually, is what I'll say. I won't tell them, they don't deserve to know the fun trivia about my life, you know?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you, is what I'd ask them. Who are you, is what I'd say. So Hector, what was it? Do you remember? Hector Mansuelas. Yeah. How are you? It's been a little while.
It has been.
We keep taking longer and longer pauses between these things.
That's life. We've both got life stuff going on. I'm trying to build a digital agency, building websites, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of learning.
Yeah, and I'm trying to build a digital agency to compete against your website to build a digital agency, and that's even more time consuming.
We've actually seen you. We could see your number one. You're our number one competition. It's It's a nightmare. Well,
dude, I mean, if that's all you've seen me, good luck. Because I've got way harder work than you. Because I'm in direct competition with you. I can't just make a business. I have to specifically see how you're making the business in order to do it better. Yeah. So most of my work has just been watching and stalking you.
Yeah.
And seeing what you're doing.
Yeah. I did think it was strange that loads of random cameras appeared throughout my house. I wasn't really sure where they came from.
And the inside guy, I said, he's been pretending.
There's just a guy standing in my closet. I'd never really said anything.
Oh, what? That's the only one you've not. Dude, there's been an actor pretending to be one of your brothers for the last 3 weeks.
Oh wow! Yeah, I thought he was looking a bit strange. Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
He's fed me the most info. You're a dirty bastard, is what I've discovered from him. I'm not going to tell you which one though. You're going to have to beat all of them up to find out. Torture all of them.
Start with the youngest.
Yeah. You could definitely be the youngest. If anything, that's more likely. I could just hire a midget.
That's very true. Yeah. I think I probably noticed that.
But you haven't noticed yet, that's the point.
So I know he's not a midget, because I would have noticed.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Your youngest is safe. For now.
Oh, no.
But yeah, apart from that, how has it been personally? How's your personal life been? Are you happy?
My personal life? I think I'm happy that I'm moving towards something that I'm passionate about.
Greatness.
Greatness and moving towards the things that I want to do. Likewise with you, spending time writing stories, writing scripts, being involved in the film production that we're working on, I think. Yeah,
which the new title I will officially announce now to the world. Because I think we did announce it before as A Voice in the Dark. It has been changed since then. For reasons that I'm happy to get into, actually. Yeah, I'll get into it. But yeah, now it's Actus Reus, which is Latin for guilty act.
And that is, in my opinion, a lot better than the previous one.
No, it can't. A lot better. Okay,
it is a lot better.
The previous one was
shit. Was a bit cheesy, a bit corny.
Okay, here's the thing. I agree with that slightly. Now, here's why it became that, though. So, unbeknownst to me, because our director, Daniel, friend of the podcast, did not mention that this was my responsibility. I just did it out of my own self-interest. But I searched up the name of Voice in the Dark on IMDb, and it had like 6 or 7 films called that. I took a screenshot of the earliest one, which was in 1921, which is... And when I showed that to Dan, he was early. Like, no, but yeah, not only was it really early, but when I showed it to Dan, he was like, that's mad, because we're making one, and if we were to release it this year, it'd be 100 years since that one.
That's actually so cool.
Yeah. Now, what I hadn't realised when I told him this is he hadn't gone on IMDb and looked. He was under the impression that this was the only film. One. Yeah. Right, yeah. So I was like, is it still cool if we use this title? And he was like, of course it is. So I was just like, if you say so. But then once we decided on a font, I went back on IMDb and I looked at them again, and one of the posters had a very similar font. So I messaged him and I was like, should we change the font or the title? And he was like, well, when's that from? I was like, this one was made in 2017. He was like, what? I was like, what do you mean, what? I thought you knew. He was like, I thought there was only one 100 years ago. And I was like, no, dude, that was the earliest one out of like 7.
You left out such a crucial detail.
I honestly, I can't. I didn't think he's the director. I didn't think I'd be the only one who'd searched that. I thought he would have searched it too. He's the one who's going to put it on IMDb. I thought he would have searched it already. But yeah, no, that was a miscommunication, and so we've changed it. And yeah, I searched, and there's no films called Actors Worst. In fact, zero.
That's good.
Not a single result on IMDb.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah, no, that is, and it's a good name. I think
Yeah, I was saving it for different projects, but hey, man, got to live in the moment. This project needs it more. You know?
And it kind of adds as well to the sort of mysterious nature of the short film.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
So Hector, it's been, I don't know, even though it's been a while since we last talked, not that much has happened.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but not
2 weeks since we did the last podcast, right?
I think so, but not that much has happened. Like, we've got things to talk about, but I feel like this is going to be the most mellow episode yet.
Yeah, not much has happened in the world. Actually, there is something else that I could talk about, which I'll talk about. But yeah, no, not much has happened.
And by that I mean there are things that have happened that have been big and serious. I just mean there's not a quantity of things that have happened. Like there's not much that has happened. The things we're going to talk about are proper things, but we had to kind of dig deep for them and like find some shit. And even some of them are.
I mean, that's sometimes. I mean, partly for me, I feel like that because I've been buried in my work for like the past 2 weeks. I've just been living under a rock, just like doing my work. Really, I haven't really paid attention to what's going on. To be fair,
actually, did you hear that Keemstar retired because of that? Keemstar's retired, and the reason why he gave it is because he was like, nothing's happening. There's nothing to talk about. Yeah. You know, I don't want to talk about fucking basic bullshit that's like not real.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah, I think it must be a worldwide phenomenon. Yeah, man. It must be.
Just nothing's happening.
I think partly a big reason why is COVID, man. Like, and also because I think because of COVID, it's put a lot of people under financial difficulty, and where that's kind of shocked the world a bit. And you know, lots of people were currently living through a crisis, a phenomena in the UK and the US, which is where more people than ever in recorded history have all quit their jobs.
Yeah.
Like a huge number of people have just decided to quit their jobs. I can't remember what the phenomenon is called, but it is an actual phenomenon if you can look it up.
The job quit phenomenon. Yeah, I've heard
something along those lines. But so I think a lot of people right now are kind of like thinking, you know, because a lot of people do jobs, meaningless jobs, just for the sake of doing a job. And I think COVID has caused lots of people to think, well, I want to be doing something I'm passionate about. And when people are focusing on what they're passionate about, there's no drama, there's no news, there's no nothing, because everyone's busy focusing on real life shit, you know? I think a lot of people are doing that.
If so, then good for them, because I think that's like, I've believed this since I was like 14, 15. That is the most important part of life. If you don't enjoy your job, the thing that you're going to the thing that you're going to for so much of your life you're going to actively do, and not only that, but actively doing it is what's supposed to make your life good, and like it can't all be about the money.
Your work, and I suppose also your family, is like the magnum opus of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it should be something you're passionate about. That's like what you've achieved with your life. Of course you want it to be what you're passionate about. And there are a lot of people that aren't doing that at all. And they don't have that.
And if you can find passion in it, then that's great. If you can find passion in some jobs, like for example, when I worked at a Tesco's once, not here, a different town. Not that I mean anything to the audience, but that means something to you, Hector. Yeah. And she was like, my manager there has been there for 30 years. And at first I was like, man, you know, like, man, that's awful.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, she loves her job. You know, she loves it. And I was like, man, like, if she truly loves it, good for her. I would want to kill myself.
I would want to die.
I would hate my life.
One of the friends that, someone that I've known for 8 years, that might tell you who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Worked at the co-op for many years, for 5 years, and he's quit that job because, like it's just so meaningless. It's such a meaningless job to have. You're not achieving or working towards anything. You're just doing stuff in your day that's like not going to, like if you're working on building a career like script writing or like what I'm doing, trying to build a business, at least at the end you've achieved something for you.
Yeah.
If you're just working at a shop for another company, what have you achieved for you? Nothing at all. It's just been your paychecks. That's all you've achieved.
Not exactly that, and I can't and that's the thing. Like, if you can find something like we have, like, because I'm quite lucky, because if my plans do go well, I do have a chance of success.
Yeah.
But either way, if you're passionate, like, if you are like an actual passionate, like, I want to be a builder.
Yeah.
No, but listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, that sounds like
the way you said that was perfect.
Hear me out, like, a guy being like, I want to be a builder. I want to be able to point at a house and be like, hey man, I fucking did that. You know?
Then good on you, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to walk down the street, be able to point at a fucking row of houses and be like, I built all of those brick by fucking brick. Good on you. You know, and even though that might not be a job that most people would see as like successful or thing, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you're passionate about, and if you can live on that, you fucking do that. Shit.
Yeah, no, there has to be, because without those people, where would we be? Like, those people aren't, at the end of the day, all of those people, you can either view it as just a job, but it is more than that. Even if it was,
that's what I think. There's a big difference between job and career, and that's what I think the difference is.
It's your passion. Like, even if it was, let's say, working, let's say a less modern version of a co-op. Let's say you ran your own bakery. You're supplying food to the town. Yeah, that's definitely something someone could be passionate about. 100%. Knowing that because that's like. I think this is part of the reason why people love working at local shops and love staying in the same town their whole lives. They love to be a part of the community of people that live there. And that's what makes their life special, especially people that stay at those sorts of shops for a long time. It's usually like mums that know somehow every single person in the entire town. Every customer that comes in.
Oh, sorry, no. If that's the case, that mum's their drug dealer, man.
But it's true. Like, those sorts of people always know, everyone somehow. And that's because that's what their passion is, knowing all of the people and, just bantering with people. Yeah, and
if that's your attitude to it, good for you. But I genuinely, because, you've already mentioned one. I've known people who have worked at jobs for years that they hate.
Yeah.
And it's like, man.
A lot of people do.
Like, it's like, man, money's great. And it's especially worse because we're lucky because we're young. It's especially worse for people who are older, who have kids, who have proper responsibilities, proper bills to pay, proper mortgages and shit. It's a lot worse for them because they need the money a lot more.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
At least if you're in the position where you're working at a job you don't like and you are able to just quit it and think about your life and what you want to do, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like, some people can't just do that. Like, some people are trapped where if they just quit their job, they'd be fucked. They'd be homeless.
That's why I think, and even though it is more difficult, I think it is important to figure out what you really want to do when you are young.
Yeah.
Like, when I was really young, I wanted to be an author. But then I mean, technically
still similar. Still basically the same thing.
No, because, I wanted to be an author. And then I wanted to be a director when I went into college. And then by the end of that, I wanted to be a screenwriter. That's like the perfect combination of the two,
Yeah.
And I really do think that's important. Like, if you have no aspirations as a kid, as a 15-year-old,
just do what you love doing.
Yeah.
And it's likely that what you love doing as a kid will be somehow linked to what you're going to do as a career when you're older.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, it will somehow be linked.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. If it's not somehow linked, it should be. That's the thing. Yeah, it really should be.
It really should be.
Your passions as a kid should drive what you are looking for.
I think it does, kind of, as a fact, because what is it? Vsauce did a video on this, but before you hit 20, you, in terms of your perception of time, in accordance to theorized laws of physics, you've already experienced more than half of your life.
Yeah.
When you hit 20. Because obviously when you're 80 years old, a year is 1/80th of your life. So you experience it as such. So it goes past really quickly,
Yeah.
When you're 1 year old or when you're just born, 1 hour is like an entirety of your life.
Yeah.
So it's like almost an infinite amount of time to what you've experienced. So before you even turn 20, half of your life as you experience it has gone past.
Yeah.
In terms of how long it feels. So I think so. I think because like even for me, what I loved doing as a kid was, you know, like business related things. Like I sold sweets at my school. I had my own like sweet business selling like chocolate bars and crisps and things like that. And I love doing that kind of stuff, like, you know, like doing business related things.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm passionate about now. That's what I think I always will be. I think it's the same for many people. Maybe not exactly a topic, but a thing that you enjoy doing. Well, like for you, writing, or like film and generally.
No, but that's what I mean. Still. That's why I say like we're really lucky we figured that out. Because some people, even if like either they don't figure it out, or they have figured it out, but they just don't strive to do it. You know, because I have met, like, I don't want to, like, I'm gonna bleep it out. You know, growing up, he had zero of that shit. He has no idea. I mean, I think he still has no idea. Like, he'd be fine just working where he works, which is like a menial job, for the rest of his life. He'd be fine with it. You know, he doesn't give a shit. You know, and the people like that, I don't understand it. Like, if you can't go, like, if you can go into your work and turn your brain off and live through it, fine. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd want to go in and use my brain and love what I'm thinking about. When I take my work home with me, I don't want it to be angry. I want it to be joyous. Like, I can't wait to work on this at home. You know. And
as well, I think there are a lot of people that lack. Because, you know, let's say you're really passionate about something, you want to do it. Let's be real. It doesn't matter how much you enjoy something. You have to battle through it.
Yeah.
You know, like there is not a single thing you can do in the world that you're going to love every second.
Yeah, everything comes with challenge.
There's going to be moments where, you know, you come across, especially if it's something you're doing for a long time, you're going to come across moments where you feel like, you know, you're not good at this, you're not good enough to make it.
Yeah.
You know, what you're doing is crap. You know, all of these sorts of struggles that anyone would go through if they're doing something they're passionate about.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't have the strength.
Yeah.
They'll say...
Writers have that a lot. I mean, you can ask any writer, the amount of writers who have unfinished projects. Because as a writer, and I mean, I think I genuinely believe, like, so many writers would agree with this statement. The worst part about being a writer is the writing. Planning and thinking and having the ideas of what you want to go on the page is so much more, I'm not going to say fulfilling, because once you've completed a script, it is very fulfilling.
Yeah.
But it's so much more enjoyable and active than having to have that idea and translate it into a readable experience. You know, like the worst part of being a writer is writing. Like, it's the rest of it. The rest of it's why I want to do it. The rest of it is what drives me.
And I think as I discovered when we were on set, you know, it's not just as simple as making a script and then the script gets made.
Yeah.
It's making a script and then having 10 people criticize it. Okay, we will make changes as you're writing the script. Then you go on set and have a bunch of people criticize it, and they just decide to change it a little bit on set.
Well, that's because as a writer, and this has been drilled into me through uni. It depends. When it comes to dialogue, I'm really fine with people changing what's on my page. You know, if it feels more natural to them to say something else, that's fine. As long as it keeps with the tone of what I'm saying, and as long as it's not something I personally really hate. I'm going to cut this bit out, but you know. But I'm perfectly fine with people changing dialogue. It's if someone like as a writer, I think out my stories. Like, I think what needs to be full, if that makes sense. Like, I take account for the things that need to be taken account for. But if it's not something that's going to be brought up to the story, I tend not to think about it.
Yeah.
For example, like I'm adding a new. I'm actually going to be adding a new scene that we're going to do on the day to add in a bit of this backstory because Dan wanted to expand on it. But I had not created a backstory for this character.
Yeah.
It wasn't important to me. I don't care if this guy had an abusive parent. It's not important in the moment.
That was something that brought up at
it
first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, but that's the thing, like, maybe I should think about it. I know a lot of writers do sort of think about that stuff. But for me, when I'm creating a story, what you see, that's what's important. Like, if you're not seeing it, it's for a reason, essentially. The reason you're not seeing this guy's backstory And in the feature length version of this that I kind of adapted into this, because we can't do a feature length film right now, but we could do a short film.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's a lot more personal, and that backstory gets expanded on a ton. But it's also a very different story. So that guy's backstory in the feature is not the same as this guy's backstory. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But I never bothered to think about this guy's one because it's not important to the story.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it's interesting, I suppose, as well, to see other people's sort of take
Yeah.
on what you've made.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no.
But yeah,
I think it does. It takes strength to be able to go through all of that and still continue on with it, you know, like commitment.
Yeah, so yes, I actually didn't finish. I just realised I didn't actually finish. Yeah, what was drilled into my head in uni is the idea that a script is a blueprint for a film. And it's a blueprint for something that hasn't been made yet. So theoretically, everything on the blueprint should work. But you're putting it together for the first time, you're gonna have, like, if something doesn't work, you have to make changes. You know, you have to adapt the blueprint because otherwise the finished product and the blueprint. Yeah. You know,
and it might be because it might even be something you disagree on.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the problem. Like when it's
that happens a lot. You know,
when it's a production, you're just a part. You're just now just a part of it, even though you've conceptualized and created the story.
Yeah.
You know, there's still other people that might disagree and have their own, and you would have to deal with it.
I mean, in certain regards, like. I mean, you got to remember. I mean, right now it's me, and you know, our producer is, you know, like, yeah.
I feel like on movie sets that's more prominent.
It is, but it depends on what level you're at. Like, the better I get, and the higher level I get, the less I have to compromise.
Deal with it,
yeah. Like Quentin Tarantino has full control of his films. He has full control of the final edit of his films. That's fucking rare.
Yeah.
That's why his films are so long.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, and I mean, I would certainly love to reach that level one day because everything. I mean, don't. And again, I mean, as I think I've proven on this film, you know, not just to our producer, but to everyone on set. Like, yeah, I'm very open to think about shit more, you know, in my scripts, and if it needs changing, I'm very willing to change it. If something needs adding in, if something needs expanding on, I'm very willing to do it. Just because I haven't thought of it and I've chosen not to think of it, doesn't mean I can't think of it. I'm totally willing to think of it.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of changes we had to do when Ron brought the...
It's on this 5th draft now. I think, yeah. It'll be on draft 5.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a lot of changes that were made. Well, not a lot, but a couple that were made when Ron showed us the shot list.
Yeah.
Just like general things. And like some with the dialogue as well.
Yeah.
On that first day. But to be fair, like nothing really major changed. It was just kind of like the way that it was being shown, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact, I will say, because again, I've told plenty of times that, yeah, if he wants to change the dialogue, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna act like, you know, it's fine, I'm not gonna act like, you know, I hope they change it or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, I have put thought into the dialogue. You know, I'm not just fucking writing nonsense. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But you know, if you want to change it, go ahead. So I was surprised with, like, he did change some shit, but he did mostly keep to it. Like he really did, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Like he could have changed all of it.
I think that proves that it is somewhat, like, you know, natural and congruent.
Because he could have changed all of it. He really could have. There's nothing.
I feel like if it wasn't congruent, then a person would just naturally not say what was there because it wouldn't feel right. Especially that's how he acts. You know, he acts like he's doing it in the moment.
Yeah.
So it obviously all read out normally. But I suppose, like, when you're doing a script, you would talk to yourself.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how I do it. I literally, the same way we're recording this podcast now, I open a fucking thing and I will sit there and talk to myself for like 10-20 minutes.
Yeah, because you have to check if it actually sounds normal. Yeah.
And the way I'll do it is, I'll essentially have 3 conversations. I'll have the first conversation, which is just me talking to myself normally, you know, just like, you know, just saying the words. I'll have the second conversation where I'm thinking more about, like, how do I want these words to be said? And then the third conversation would be me essentially doing character voices.
Yeah.
And, you know, properly acting it out to myself.
Yeah. Because I kind of do a similar thing, like, for sales calls, you have to do, so they, like, professionally, they have, like, a script that they follow with sales calls. And obviously I do the same sort of thing for for the pest control people and the care home people when I phone them up. Yeah, you have to like prepare it and like talk to yourself. Like I just pace my room and just imagine conversations in my head, but
probably.
but not like imagine the conversations, but kind of like, you know, as if the person's there and I'm talking to them and trying to
premeditate it. Yeah,
like what you'd actually say and just talk it out. It just makes it easier to like, you know, have it come naturally.
Yeah,
because if you just write down what you think, okay, well, this person's objectives are this, and this, so that means they're going to say this, and this. You write it down, and then you say it, and you just think, wow, that just sounds like I'm reading from a piece of paper. Doesn't it? It just sounds like you're reading from a piece of paper, and it's just like, it's weird, because it's like a really, really small, what's the word? Like,
I don't know.
It's like, what's the word?
I don't know. It's like a small thing that you pick up on naturally. Habit.
Yeah. It's like a habit that you just pick up on naturally, that you just do without thinking, just a subconscious thing.
A personality trait.
Yeah, but when you write it down, it's not the same. It's not the same at all.
Yeah, no, I've put a lot more thought into my dialogue ever since. So at uni, because we're taught by someone, and then we had to write a feature-length film, and then someone different would read the film and critique it, so there was no bias. The person I had teaching me about the script and shit, she was great, but she would constantly say that because this was supposed to be a first draft, and this is a thing that writers do a lot, and I've told you about this, and it's something that I disagree with. It's essentially called like a vomit page. Yeah. Where you just write, you know, you write as quick as you can, you write whatever needs to be said, and then you can go back and reverse it. Now, I'm not saying, you know, always edit as you go, you know, perfectly, concisely, but I think you need to have a much stronger idea of what you're going in with. So for the feature film that I wrote at uni, I did follow their advice and I mainly did it vomit. And when it came to dialogue, I really didn't put much thought into it. I knew what needed to be said. I knew where it needed to go, and I just led the dialogue to it. And then in my feedback for the film, again critiqued by a different teacher, she was like, "The dialogue's shit. They keep saying man and mate." And I was like, yeah, because they're placeholders until I could figure out what fucking slang they're going to use. Because it was a vomit page. But that was actually graded, you know?
So in terms of structure, what they're saying there is, so you don't lay it out, you just start off by vomiting on the page.
Well, no, the idea is that, like, if you're a good scriptwriter, you will have, like, there's structures you follow, you know, inherently in a film, you know?
No, but I mean in terms of, like, structure of the story, like, what you're... So what do you mean? So they're saying vomit page. What's the actual logical process you go through start to finish? Do you start immediately vomiting it on a page, and then do you think of, like, base a story from that, or do you already have a story that you're...
No, so you already have a story, but in terms of, like, what the actual characters are going to say and do in the scene. Like, you know where you want the scene to end. You know where it begins. Fill in the blank.
Oh. God, that's an awful way to do that.
Yeah. And the way they... Because here's the thing. So, there's a lot of things when it comes to script writing. That's what's called using a beat sheet. So you have the story beats, and basically just fill in the blank. You have a lot more... there were some that are really in-depth and some that are really, like, simple like that. My one, the way I usually do it, I call it sequence theory. That's not a real... I mean, it might be a real term, but it's not like a real thing. I've just come up with this. But the way I like to think about it when I'm making a film, in this digital age, is I like to imagine with my film, someone has ripped it. Someone has stolen my film. You know, they've downloaded it illegally, and they want to post it onto YouTube. Okay? And the way they're going to do that is by cutting up the film and posting it in clips. What are those clips? What are the content of those clips? That's how I write a film.
The definitive different sections of the movie.
Yeah, that's how I've planned my movies. I think of it like, and when I list it out, I list it out less like beats and more like chapters in a book and what would be in that chapter.
Yeah. Like
I do the beat name, I give them all individual names too, all the beats, and then I write a synopsis of this is exactly what's happening in this fucking scene, you know. And I that for me, because I didn't do that in uni. I only did that after uni. If I'd started that from the very beginning, I mean, I barely write scripts in uni anyway. but man, it was like, I figured it out natural, and yeah, it's going to really help me.
I mean, I suppose it depends how you would visualize it. Do you picture it in your head as you're thinking of it, or do you think of the structure?
What, while I'm writing?
While you're coming up with an idea for a script.
Yeah, I mean, some things you just can't help but like visualize and stuff. But some things, I don't know. There is a lot. I mean, yeah, as you're writing it, you tend to visualize it. But when you're coming up with it, sometimes the concept just sounds cool, and you have no idea how you're going to really do it. But then when you get to it, you understand. You know, you figure out, you're like, yeah, this is the best way of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like I had one scene in a horror film I'm writing called Castle Lane, which is almost finished. I'm trying to get it finished for the new year.
Yeah.
I'm also, once I get that finished, I'm going to set myself, like, I want to write 2 films a year. Because that would be the Wall film at the end of the Wall, and this that I wrote this year. Yeah. Next year I want to write 2 films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I want to do that, and then keep that going for as long as possible. I have so many films, you know.
Yeah.
So many films.
So many. You have so many in your library of films.
It's true. But yeah, and I knew in the scene, I'm not going to give too much away, because I really want this to be made one day. And this could be like found and be like, oh my god, he spoiled it. But it was going to be a conversation that was going to happen in a kind of ethereal way. You know, it wasn't going to be like a physical conversation. It was going to be a weird conversation, which is happening in a weird space.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted it to be weird. I think I even called it the weird talk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I was writing it and I started to like kind of get clues into like how the characters like it's weird because you create the characters, but as you're writing it, you get to know your characters better. You know, you get to kind of understand their personalities more, you know, because you write a line and you more instinctively know how that character's going to respond to it, you know? So, and as you get to know the character, I figured it out because, you know, as the characters grew, I was like, yeah, there is one place where this could take place. You know, there's one location that would work perfectly for this. And yeah, I figured it out and I wrote the scene based around the idea of that location. And I think it could definitely be done. And if it was, it'd be pretty damn cool.
So when you're thinking about what a character's going to be like, do you think of which way round do you do it? Do you think of what they do and how they act, or do you think of who they are and then think of what they would do?
I think of what they do and how they act,
and then you base a personality off of what they're doing rather than basing what they're doing off the personality you thought of. Yeah,
and I kind of I mould their personality to fit around the idea of what they're trying to do.
Right. That's quite cool.
And I don't know, maybe not a lot of writers do this, but for me, and here's how I actually think about my films. Because in real life, I don't believe in God. But in my film's universe, I am God. Okay? Like, and it sounds weird to say it like that, but it's true. Like, if I want these characters to do something, they don't have free will. They're going to be fucking doing it. You know?
I like Stan Lee in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And because of that, because I know that these characters, like, I'm putting them through this, I will mold their... Because, like, I don't know, it's a lot harder. I think if you create a character, and don't get me wrong, obviously it can work, but if you create a character and then you try and create a story based on that character, it's like, that character could be, like, if that character was different, the story would be different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want this story to have the exact correct character, the right character for this story, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because otherwise, like, say, for example, Mr. Bean. I love Mr. Bean. The character definitely came before the show. You know, he was probably, Rowan Atkinson was probably doing that on, like, one-man shows and shit. But you could write a Mr. Bean movie and then take out the character of Mr. Bean and replace it with, like, a different... Like Charlie Chaplin or something like that.
Mm.
And, like, yeah, but... And you know, it's like... Yeah, like... I don't know, maybe that was a bad example, but...
I mean, I kind of understand what you mean.
I think story comes before character, in my opinion. And then you...
Because that's what unless I think Mr. Bean is a good example of one actually where it's not, but the story is what the person is there for, not that character. So it would make sense that you'd, make the story and base everything on the story.
Yeah.
But obviously, something like Mr. Bean, that's the show. That's why it's called Mr. Bean, because it's about this character. So obviously all the stories are revolving around him.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I mean. Like, you could replace him in any of the stories, and like the fans or whoever that character is would still tune in. If it was a Charlie Chaplin film, it would just be a Charlie Chaplin film at that point. It could be anything. Like,
because the story is so non-dependent on the character. Yeah.
Like look at superhero movies. Why, like a Spider-Man movie should be a movie that wouldn't work with any other hero. Because of the personal connection to the villain, because of the stakes. Like, I don't know. Like, but you want movies like that. Like, that's why Batman is really cool. Because, like, there are a lot of things that, like, because he's such a grounded hero, other heroes, you couldn't imagine it, because they take care of it easier, Yeah. Yeah. But we have got some topics.
We have got some good ones.
Yeah. We basically just did like a fucking interview.
It's half hour, 5 minutes,
Yeah. But so that was both of us answering how are you, by the way.
No, that's where we are in life. I think it's good to go over that, because everyone's dealing with that. Something that everyone can relate to.
But let's talk about some fun topics.
Oh, baby.
So, the first one I think we should talk about is Facebook. Or should we call it by its new, original, beautiful name?
Meta.
Have
you seen what the logo is?
Yeah, you showed me.
It's like they've copied Virgin Media but made it blue.
Yeah. Because blue is the colour of Facebook.
Yeah, but I just found that weird how that's what it is. It's like the infinity, which is weird.
I just think because Facebook is such a known brand, it'd be like, I don't know, like imagine Google changing its name or something. Like,
it is on that level, yeah. Facebook is like a huge, but apparently
it's gonna date the social network.
Apparently that was the reason why they did it, because Facebook is now huge. Like, I only realised this recently because I've gotten into coding. Facebook created a JavaScript framework called React. Now, one of the viewers will know what I'm talking about, because I know him. I know he watches this. They created React, which is like a whole JavaScript framework for making stuff, and they make apps and they make products. The Facebook company is fucking huge. Like, they do so much stuff. I know someone who works there in America, and he said he had a job before working at an agency, developing React apps, and he started working at Facebook. It's like, he describes it as a city when he goes into work, because they localize all of their like work into big buildings. And he said it's literally like working in a city, but everyone is working at the same place in this city, because the building is just that fucking huge. It's like, have you seen those like photos of the Apple headquarters? Yeah. It's literally like a little mini town that they've built for all of the Apple employees.
It's like a campus,
insane. It's so cool. But that's basically Facebook. And so they changed their name and their logo, because they don't believe that Facebook, because they do more than just Facebook now. They've got like Instagram, WhatsApp, and they do a shit ton of other stuff as well. So now, that's why, because they say he feels like it doesn't represent the company anymore, because the company does so much more outside of Facebook. Facebook itself is actually one of their lesser used products. Instagram is used way more than Facebook. So why is the company still called Facebook? So so they're changing it to, what was it? Meta, yeah.
You know what? Well, that's what they say. You know why I think they're changing it? Because Facebook is now such a hated name. People hate Facebook these days.
Yeah, that is true as well. But that's the thing. Facebook is one of their lesser products. Like, they actually have products that are bigger than Facebook now. So why would they still be called Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Yeah, they're going to be called Meta.
What else did I... Sorry, but apart from Instagram and WhatsApp, what else do they have?
So, like I said, that React app. So
but that can't be that widely used, can it?
Yeah. It's like a huge portion of the internet uses React. Like,
okay,
so,
okay.
It's a programming language. So, like, in on the internet, every single website that exists will use...
so you mean like JavaScript? Like, it's like a proper, like...
So, JavaScript is a language. What they've built is framework that allows you to build apps using the language. So it's like it's a tool that's used, and like getting, you know, it's like a whole ecosystem. Getting like, that's why, have you ever heard of FANG companies?
No.
So like it's like a term in the tech industry where, you know, if you go to college or if you go to university and you study computer engineering or anything related to coding, they'll, you know, talk about getting a FANG job. And FANG literally stands for Facebook, Apple, Netflix, and Google, because they're like the biggest tech companies. Oh man,
we want a FANG job. I want to work for Netflix.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Actually.
I'm a FANG guy.
But Facebook is like one of the biggest companies in the world. Like, they have so many jobs going for this. Like, they basically got a whole ecosystem of coding. So the guy that made it was a massive nerd who coded the program.
Was it Mark?
Yeah. Obviously. He's the biggest nerd ever. But yeah, like, that's mostly like all of that side of things, like React and all of that. They actually probably have like 10 times the number of people working on that side of things than they do on Facebook. Yeah. So why are they still called Facebook? So that's kind of like the reason why. Like, they're working on loads and loads of stuff outside. Like, they'll have individual tech products that they'll sell to other companies that are unrelated to the
when they work on like a Facebook. Fucking virtual reality thing at some point.
Yeah, they bought something similar to Oculus. Now, the reason they've done this is because they want to copy Steam. So Steam was one of the first, not Steam, Valve.
Steam? Oh, Valve. Okay.
Sorry, which owns Steam. But Valve were one of the first companies to
Valve owns Steam?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Good for Valve.
Wait, no, I'm retarded. Don't listen to me. I think I'm completely wrong. I'm not sure. I'm drunk. So, but anyway,
I've never heard that.
It's the company that owns Steam. I think it's Valve.
It probably is. Valve is big.
I might be completely wrong. Don't take my word.
No, I believe you. Valve is big.
Let's go on the assumption that it is. Yeah. Since my memory somehow
and you know what? If it's not, fuck you. We don't care. Why do you even Google it? Why don't you just trust us? That's like true. A man?
Yeah.
Pussy.
All right. Anyway, so like, they were one of the first companies to hook a customer into using a product. So let's say, for example, you bought your computer, and it only allowed you to use the products of the company that you bought it with.
Windows.
Yeah, imagine that. I mean, that's basically what Steam is. You cannot do, the Oculus and Steam, you cannot do anything on that piece of tech that you bought than use Steam products.
Yeah.
So they kind of copy the idea from that, and yeah, they're basically going to use it just to shove Facebook shit down people's throat.
Who the fuck would buy that though?
I don't know, but obviously they're going to try to, because like it's profitable and it's big. But yeah, Facebook is huge. It's basically like it's turning into Google. They work on loads of stuff outside of just Facebook. And they're Meta.
There was a really famous tweet I remember. It went viral where it was a guy who was like, "Why don't Facebook and Google have seats at the UN at the UN embassy yet?" It's like, they're not fucking countries. What the fuck are you talking? I know they have power, but they do not have the same interests as you, guy. Like, no. What?
No. I mean, Apple makes probably enough money to be up there. Like, many people don't understand how much money Apple makes.
Yeah.
So, like, to put it into comparison, the biggest oil company in the entire world, and the people that sell oil are the richest people in the world. The biggest oil company in the whole world has the highest revenue, right? So you know what revenue and profit is.
Yeah.
So revenue
is fucking child.
Revenue is the total amount you make. Profit is, what's actually profit, because it's cost, right? So the revenue of some of these oil companies is just obscene. Apple makes the most profit out of any company in the world, but it has way, way less revenue. Yeah. Like, all of their products are like 80% profit margin, 90% profit margin, and they're making more profit than some of the biggest oil companies in the whole world.
Yeah.
That's how much money they make.
Yeah.
They built a whole town just for their employees.
That's true.
Like, it's insane. That's how much money they have. So I wouldn't be surprised if Apple are involved in, like, political stuff.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. That's what I mean. It shouldn't be.
I mean, actually, to be fair, do you think Amazon is bigger than Apple? I haven't checked recently, actually. It might be.
Especially considering lockdown, it might be.
It actually might be. I'm not sure, because Amazon is huge now as well. They do more outside of just Amazon now. Like, they do
Well, they have Audible, Prime.
They do AW, yeah, Prime. Oh my god, yeah, there's all those services as well. I wasn't even thinking about that, yeah. But like, they do AWS.
They work with Twitch now, don't they? Don't they own Twitch?
Oh my god.
Yeah, they own Twitch too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, dude, they must actually be, yeah, man.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, Amazon is just ridiculously huge now. Yeah, because like, a lot of the internet now runs on AWS, which is like, so like they have a whole, like, the same how Facebook have their coding side, Amazon's Facebook, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's a huge one, a huge tech company, like absolutely massive. But apparently,
to be fair, if it's Facebook, Google, Netflix, Amazon, I didn't realize, is Netflix that big? Mm-hmm. Really? That's what, on the same level as Google and Amazon?
Yeah, they're really big, yeah.
Wow.
Netflix is really big. If you get a tech job at Netflix, that's like loads of fucking money. And there's loads of people that get jobs.
Obviously, I don't want a tech job, you fool. I want to write for them.
You know, I'm just saying, they are big though. Like, they're compared with those companies of getting a FANG job. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, they're big. I mean, they either use Vue.js or React.js. I can't remember which one. But like, there's loads of jobs going in Netflix all the time, man. And not obviously just for working on the Netflix app. That would be ridiculous. They don't hire that many people just to do that.
Yeah.
They do other stuff as well. But yeah.
I'm gonna attempt it. I really do. I've got a movie in mind for them.
Yeah.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
They've got so much shit set in this goal.
They're a big boy company. But like, something that surprised me that I saw the other day related to all of this sort of stuff is that it's predicted Elon Musk will be the first trillionaire in the world.
Man, that's way too much money for a man.
I think he is the best man currently in the current like economic climate with like who's rich. I think he's the best person to be a trillionaire, better than Jeff fucking Bezos.
That's not what I said. I mean, you're right. You are right. He is the best person to have it. I still believe that is way, like, no man should have that much money. I do believe
that he's the only person that would do genuine good with that sort of money, as in genuine good.
But does that mean you believe he's the only man who should have that much money? Because I think they're different.
They are different, but he is the best choice that we have. I
think about how many millions of people he could help with that $1 trillion.
That is true. I mean, yeah. I mean, here's another thing. You know, what's going to happen to the world's economy? Apparently, the world's economy is not in a good place. Apparently, he talks about this, but like, we're going to hit a massive, huge, like, world-changing. He talks about this at CodeCon and talks about wealth per capita.
CodeCon? That's adorable.
Yeah, CodeCon 2021. I think it was that.
You should have gone.
I think it is that. I'm sure. Something.
No, I imagine it is. I just think it's a because everything has a con, and I love that coding has a con.
Yeah.
Do people cosplay?
I don't think so. No. But like, he talks about. So another phenomenon that's happened recently is we're now at the lowest wealth per capita for a long time. Yeah. Like, for a really, really long time. So the average wealth of the whole world is just plummeting, and what's going to happen? Is the world going to fall apart? Because loads of people have lost their jobs because of COVID, and loads of businesses have gone bust, and we haven't like felt any economic change yet. Like, something's going to happen in like a couple of years. Obviously it buffers, but what's going to happen when there's a whole generation of people that can't afford to buy a house? What is going to happen? Because currently, obviously, there's still people in the older generations that can buy homes. Like, you know, your parents, my parents, they can afford to buy homes, and they have money from successful careers or whatever. But what happens when the majority of people are people in our generation who can't afford to buy a home?
I mean, it's been predicted that the average person in our generation, if they wanted to, I mean, it's like, and it's going to get worse in the future, but just to live a normal, functional life, the average person needs 2 jobs. 2.
But you can't buy a home. It's just, it's not possible.
No, you totally can't do that. But just to live your general life, you need 2 jobs, because the minimum wage is not increasing. Everything's getting worse.
Yeah. So like, something will have to happen. Either the house prices will have to come down, or there'll just be another bank crash, because they didn't do anything to fix the last recession. They patched things over, and it's just going to hit us again. what will happen? Who knows?
I certainly don't. Man, yeah, things are getting fucking crazy. Like, we've got another topic here of the Insulate Britain protesters. You know?
Things are getting very crazy over here in
things
the UK.
Are getting crazy here,
Yeah.
you know? We did talk about this a bit earlier, off the podcast, but we'll get back into it now and we'll kind of cover that. But yeah, these Insulate Britain protesters are doing it wrong. You are not helping your cause, man. You've got a good cause. Do you know what their cause is?
Their cause is Insulate Britain.
It is. Now, apparently, because when I first read the name, I didn't think this, but a lot of people on Reddit apparently did, who don't live in the UK. They thought it was a racial thing. Like, we want a war around Britain. But no, what it's actually about is the fact that people want... what do they want? More air conditioning? I think? They want British people, every home in Britain, to have, like, full air conditioning, I believe. I think that's it. And they think that doing this is going to help with climate change because of electrical heaters, I believe it is. I don't know. But I think what they're doing is good, you know? You're just Googling it now.
Yeah. Insulate Britain, the environmental activist group, has resumed its series in blocking roadblock protests.
Yeah, but what did I... Why?
On home insulation to cut... they demand action from the government on home insulation to cut domestic energy waste, a key contributor to climate crisis.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what I just said. They want air conditioning instead of, like, electric heaters.
So they want to cut spend on
electric heaters?
On, like...
and fans.
Domestic energy waste. So instead of wasting loads of money on heating, like, insulate the homes better.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a good cause. I agree with it. What I don't agree with is you lot acting like total fucking spanners and blocking the roads of perfectly innocent, normal people.
Yeah. So the group's leader says they should know that one way or another this country will have to stop emitting carbon. We can do that now in an orderly, planned way, insulating homes and preventing thousands of deaths from fuel poverty. Or we can wait until millions have lost their homes and are fighting for water or starving to death. Wait, is that what they think is going to happen? Wow.
And yeah, okay, I didn't know they think that's going to happen specifically. But
yeah.
Either way, I think what you're trying to do is good. Stop doing it like this, man.
Yeah, because they're preventing normal people from going to work. Like, normal people trying to get to work. What, a woman trying to see her mother who's dying in hospital.
They stopped an ambulance carrying a stroke victim who suffered brain damage because of it.
Yeah. Like, that's just fucked up. And, like, all the videos on Instagram, you look in the comments and you see that every single person in the comments is saying how fucking retarded these people are and how much they hate them.
Dude, on Reddit, there's a lot, because a lot of these videos get posted to, like, you know, the subreddits, cringe ones, and a lot of people in the comments get banned because they're like, yeah, just fucking hit them, mate. Just fucking hit them with the car, wishing violence against these people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't wish violence against them, but I think they kind of wish violence against them. We mentioned this earlier, again off podcast. I believe these guys are doing this specific action of blocking the roads with the hope, and I guess not all of them are hoping for this. They're not hoping. They're definitely not hoping it's going to be them, you know. But with the idea that one of the British public are going to get angry enough to hit them with the car, maybe kill them, maybe just injure them. Who knows? But as soon as a person is, like, affected by it, and, like, let's just say kills them. As soon as a person dies because of this, they have a martyr. They have someone who they can hold up, you know, a name they can use, that they can use to help force the government and be like, people are killing us now, when are you going to listen to us? Yeah. You know, I think that, and because it is
that's such a shit way of getting public attention.
It really is. And I keep thinking about, because when I think of really good causes that are ruined because of the way that the public view them, My main fault is always vegans. Like, vegans, you got a really good cause, bud. You really do. But some of you have really shitty ways of doing it. Going into a Greggs and throwing pig's blood on people is not a good fucking way of getting your message across. That's no. Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna see you protesting outside their car, get out of the car, be like, what are you fucking doing? I'm trying to get my kids to work, and you're gonna be like, calm down, mate, read the flyer. They give you a flyer, they read it, and they're just like, wow, amazing work. I want to shake all of your hands.
You're all doing. Wait here for you all day.
Kids, get out of the car. We're blocking traffic. Like, what do you think is going to happen? And then you get this video of this fucking old man. And I need to talk about this video. This old man who has had ink thrown at him with his friend, and they're covered in blue ink. And he's in the video, and he's like, I'm paraphrasing, I'm summarising, but he's like, it's really sad that the government's, resorted us to doing this. This is just a sad situation. I hate doing this. I hate the fact that I have to do this. But it's the only way to get the government to listen. When I heard that for the first time, my main thought was, I don't know, this is a bit of a joke point, but you specifically don't have to do it. I get it, you feel like you have to do it, and like you want action, but realistically, you the one guy there, you could probably sit this one out.
Yeah.
Like, especially now, you've had ink thrown all over you, But the second one, I hate this, I hate that, I have to, resort to this. Fair enough. You know how we feel. We also hate this. We hate the fact that you're doing this.
Yeah.
But the third point, because this is the only way to get the government to listen to us. This is the way to get the government to not really give a shit and to actually just annoy the British public more, because they're not going to let the British public just fucking hit you to get you out the fucking way.
Wasting police officers' time.
Yeah, and then you're gluing yourself to roads and shit. Like, man, you guys are so lucky you're in the UK. If that shit was in America, they would not have been using a solvent. That glue would not have been dissolving, and you wouldn't have to wait an hour. They would have ripped your fucking hand off that tarmac, pal. Because fuck you.
However, I did just think of something. To be fair, if it's like a small organisation of 20 people, yeah, actually, yeah, there is no other way they could have got the government's attention, and certainly there is no other way realistically they would have been able to break headlines. Like, if it was like a small group of maybe 20 or 30 people, that's actually true. What they've done has actually, from their perspective of going like, maybe 120 likes on Instagram, they've gone to like headlining and it being public. Now everyone knows about this. So although, yeah, they've done it in a terrible way, everyone hates them. The problem is, would they have been able to get that much publicity without getting everyone to hate them?
No, but that's the thing. Because, yeah, the argument isn't whether or not, the argument isn't did it work. Yeah, it worked. The only reason we know who they are is because of what they've done.
Yeah.
But if the way you're doing it is to be so negative and to annoy people, again, the British public, not the politicians who you're targeting, normal people trying to get about their fucking daily lives who have nothing to do with the idea, who have nothing that they could possibly do. Like, what are they hoping that someone's going to get out of the car and be like, don't worry ladies, I've actually got this, I'm going to figure out the insulation Britain problem, Yeah. Like, these are just normal people trying to get their kids to fucking school. Like, you say there's no other way, and I don't think there's no other way. I think there are other ways. They just chose what they've considered to be the easiest. Because what they're doing isn't that much effort. It's just sitting in a fucking road. I think it was pure laziness. They could have been more elaborate. They could have. You could totally do more elaborate shit than that.
That is very true.
Yeah. You could totally do more elaborate shit than that, dude. Stage a fucking, I don't know, like a standing protest outside of Buckingham Palace or some fucking shit. I don't fucking know. Just, you could totally do more creative shit than that. Like, people in America tearing down statues and shit. You're sitting in traffic. You're literally sitting on your arse doing nothing, and you think that's the protest.
Yeah.
Like, There's totally other shit they could have done.
That is a good point. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely it, because it's the easiest way for them to headline.
Yeah.
That is definitely, like, they succeeded in headlining. Like, if they'd done, like, you know, if they tried to do it the professional, you know, not the professional, but, like, the proper traditional way of trying to get people to be actually interested in helping, realistically, they probably wouldn't even broke, like, 1,000 likes or so on social media.
But here's the thing, because they're doing all this in support of an actual petition that's supposed to get, 100,000 likes to get it seen in Parliament. Because of the way they've gone about it, it's got less than 12,000 likes.
Really?
If they had just gone door to fucking door, they probably could have got more likes.
See, what they should have done is, like you said, done something more creative or more insane.
Because that's the thing. They're doing this to get the attention of the British government, but they're also trying to get people to sign this petition, because that's the easiest way of getting the attention of the British government, have a petition signed. But it's the British public who are supposed to be the ones signing that petition, and you're getting them to fucking hate you right now, cunt.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think was going to happen? Yeah. No one's going to sign. Like if you, because like that's the thing. That I think they were just like if you are creative enough, if you think hard enough, you can get that 100,000 signatures. But they were like, fuck that. We're just going to make enough fucking ruckus. We're just going to be mischievous enough,
annoy enough people that everyone does it. Yeah, they could have like tied themselves to like the, what do you call it? The House of Commons. Yeah. What is it called? Like tied themselves to the door so none of them could get in, and they had to untie them to get inside.
Buy a blimp. All of you pull your money together and get a billboard and get it in the middle of fucking London that says like a fucking big powerful message on it. You know, do some cool shit. You know, raise money.
Better yet, you don't have enough money to go on the billboard. Tie yourselves to the billboard.
Yeah,
like that. That's more. Yeah, that's way more powerful.
Do shit, because like that's another thing. Alright, because like I see a lot of people comparing this to like the suffragettes in a way, which I think a lot of people do when it comes to like, but here's the thing, because I mean that was like, that was very important. And when you look at like the risk factor, I unfortunately don't remember her name, but there was a really famous one who was on a racetrack.
The suffragettes.
Yeah.
The suffragettes. What was that one called?
It was the women's rights movement. You know?
Yeah, I can't remember what that specific woman was called though.
I don't either, but she is really famous, and I apologise for not remembering the name. But was it Susan B. Anthony? I don't know.
I just know it was the suffragettes.
Yeah, but yeah, she was she protested on a racetrack and got killed by a horse. Now, when that happened, again, martyred. She became.
Oh yeah, because she ran into into the thing with all the horses and got killed by it. Yeah.
When that happened again, like martyred, and I'm not. Yeah, martyring's not exactly. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it happens a lot. Just recently, we had the George Floyd thing. That was a martyr situation. I don't think that's a controversial statement to say. Like, how things happen because of that. That's a martyr situation, and it can be used for good. But if you look at that, like, there's so much more. Like, she ran out in a racetrack. You guys are sitting in a public road where police are surrounding you, and you know that there's
You're perfectly safe.
Yeah, there's not a fucking Patrick Bateman fucking 2 cars down that's just like, no, I'm gonna fucking ram him, I'm gonna kill him. Like, you're fucking so
You're surrounded by police, you're safe. Like a little rat.
You're like a pussy.
Yeah, like a rat, like a pussy.
Honestly, I think it's so cowardly what they're doing.
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
100%,
And that's why I say, like, you've got a good message, but man, you need to do it better. You need to do it better.
The police are just literally like, they're not actually fighting off the police. They're just going limp.
Yeah.
So that the police have to literally drag them like children out.
And then once they finish, they crawl back like little fucking babies crawling towards their mummies.
It's so fucking pathetic.
And then there was that one video where a woman was starting to get really pissed off. And she inched her car a bit forward, and there was someone sitting in front of her. And by then a bunch of protesters were just like, get up, love, get up, it's not worth it. But this woman, this stupid fucking woman, leant, all the way forward. The car's like, obviously the car's not going to go any more forward, but it is in her. And she's just going, ow, ow, ah, ah. Fucking move,
what a
cunt.
Pathetic. That wasn't hurting her at all.
Of course it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
That was just screams of panic. You fucking pussy. If you were hurt, man,
you should be running.
Because that's the thing. No, here's the difference. Not hurt.
See, this is the thing.
You
If she
know,
was actually in pain, terror would immediately take over, and you'd get up.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't just sit. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to do it. Terror wouldn't allow you to do it.
Unless that car has just broken your fucking back and you're now instantly paralysed, you were getting up.
Yeah.
Unless she was literally willing to die for
That's
this
why
cause.
I wish I was there in a car on that road, because I would you just inch forward and they just move out of the way. Like that, what are they going to do?
But that's the thing, because then you get and that's the worst part. The other protesters went from the car being like, "Hey man, come on, stop it! You fucking stop it!"
Move out of the road, then, you fucking retard. I just get out and fucking bam, straight in the face. It'll be over, because people are all coming out of their cars to pull them out of the road because they're all so pissed off.
Yeah, and then they just fucking crawl back like pathetic babies.
Pathetic piece of shit. Because the thing is, they know that as soon as they get violent, they're going to get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Because they're all pathetic pieces of shit.
But that's they're hoping things get violent because, honestly, because that's the thing. If they're, because again, it's very clear that they go really it is they don't care what the British public think. It's about the government. If one of them dies, that's the best case scenario for them. They want one of them to die. They just don't want it to be them. But I reckon all of them are hoping, oh yeah, no, don't hit her. Ooh, thank God, no, don't hit Carol with her shrill fucking laugh. Don't hit her. No, because that's the thing. If you were thinking Lord, if this was like a military battle plan and you want to get noticed by the government in your shitty little movement, a murder, a manslaughter, a public trial, that shit is big. I really truly believe it. I believe they want one of them to die.
I don't think they have the guts for it.
I think it would have to. Obviously, they're not planning on it. But if it happens, I think they'd be happy.
Yeah.
I think they'd be thrilled, and they would use it so much to their fucking advantage, Yeah.
But won't happen. They're all a bunch of pussies. I don't think it will go anywhere.
I know. It depends. They just need one unhinged fucking drunk menace who's looking at them being like, "Look, mate, I want to get home. I want to order my takeout. I don't want to fucking go to bed. I've been up 36 hours. And I want to fucking sleep." And the guys are like, "No, we're not moving." He's just going to be like, "Alright, look, here's what's going to happen, alright? I'm moving the car forward. I'm not going to move it forward slowly. I'm going to go straight to 60. I'm going to count down from 10. And if you haven't moved by 1, you're actually going to fucking die." And then he gets in the car, he counts down. They're all thinking he's bluffing. Gets to 1 and he's like, "Well, isn't this a predicament? I guess I'm going to actually fucking kill these guys." And then he drives forward, goes to 60, and kills fucking one of them.
Good. I hope that happens. I hope that happens, to be honest. Good. Because 2 good things will happen. First of all, one of them will die.
Yeah.
And second of all, the government will actually do something that's good.
Yeah.
So that's a win-win. An annoying arsehole dies, and the government does something good. I really hope one of them die.
And if there is this scenario, we've got a fucking unhinged psychopath off the streets too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 wins.
God, yeah, that's amazing.
Who knows who else that guy could have killed?
Yeah, we should start a petition. Let's kill the...
Yeah.
Let's kill the
Someone's got to take one for the team and just kill one of these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a joke, just to clarify. We are not inciting violence. We really do have to be specific there. We are not inciting violence. Really, don't kill one of them. But if you want to hurl abuse at them, yeah, do that. Fuck these guys.
Yeah.
They're being dicks. But man, it's been things have been going crazy, man.
Yeah.
Shit's been happening, not just here in the UK, and not just in general, but on professional shit,
Yes.
On shit where shit like this was happening 30 years ago, and it's still happening to this day, and it's how did this happen, So yeah, we want to talk about the Helena Hutchins, Alec Baldwin occurrence, the tragedy, I think is the better word for it. And this, for me, really, it harkens back so much to The Crow, which is the scenario that happened 30 years ago.
Like, kids, they wanted to film it late at night.
Oh, no. That's the Twilight Zone thing.
That was where they wanted to film late at night. They had kids
on a helicopter.
And it decapitated them.
So that's not the quote, although that is, in my opinion, one of the worst tragedies ever happened in a thing. Like, 2 kids and a main actor died because it wasn't supposed to happen. It was really late at night. The kids weren't supposed to be there. They had restricted crew, which means that safety regulations were basically just skipped over. They got too close to a power line, I'm pretty sure. The helicopter crashed. The worst fact is the fact that the little boy in the scenario, and this is graphic, but the little boy was, burned completely, barely recognisable. And the other bodies were too, but the heads of the little girl and the main actor were decapitated by the helicopter blades, and those weren't burnt. Those were the only body parts that weren't burnt.
That's terrible.
It is. It's a horrific tragedy. Yeah. It was also done by... his name is John Landis. And fucking Steven Spielberg was like... Alright, so it was an anthology film where it was like... It's the Twilight Zone. It's an anthology series. It's an anthology film. There's 4 segments. Each one had a different director. Steven Spielberg was involved in the lawsuit because he was a director on one of the other segments, but obviously he had nothing. He wasn't there. He had nothing to do with it at all.
Wow, being responsible for that would just that would be your life.
Yeah,
you would live with that forever.
Yeah, man.
You would never be not fucked up.
Yeah, the situation on the Crow. And the reason I bring this one up is because it's essentially what happened on this one. Brandon Lee, who was a really popular martial artist actor, he was filming The Crow, which was like it's a superhero movie, essentially, really. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's even based on a Vertigo comic, which is an imprint of DC. They had filmed 90% of the movie, and there was a situation, and again, this is very similar to what happened here, where a stunt gun, went off wrong with a blank, and he was fucking killed. And his son, I don't know if his son or if it's his son or his father, but Bruce Lee. That's you know that name. So like this was a big deal back then. And it's like that was 30 years ago. And then we find out, so is it still a couple of days ago? It was within the last week. Was it about a week? It was about a week ago. Fucking Alec Baldwin, who is like
from Cat in the Hat.
He's from Cat in the Hat. He's a kind of a problematic figure, to be honest.
He is, yeah. There's a lot of controversy surrounding what kind of person he is.
Yeah. I know he had that very famous incident where he sent like a voicemail to his daughter calling her like a pig and shit. Yeah, so problematic figure, but this was a film called, I think it's called Rent or something like that.
And it's
Rust.
It's about a man who accidentally kills someone.
Yeah. And then on the film, because he's the main actor. He is also a producer, but he's not the person who checks the guns, of course. He gets handed a pop gun on set. I think it was like during because a police report was released that goes a bit more into detail. He was going through how he was going to perform the scene. Like they were doing the blocking essentially. He was told that the gun was fine. He fired it. She was pretty sure she was the director of photography, Helena Hutchins. She didn't die instantly. She died in the ambulance on the way.
So I'm guessing she was hit in the torso.
I have to imagine so, yeah. And the actual director survived, but he was also hit. And they were taken to different hospitals, but he managed to survive. But what was shocking was because in the police report, because there was a lot. I wasn't sure whether or not when I heard about it, it wasn't really clear to me whether or not she was shot by like an actual bullet or if it was a blank that went wrong. But it turns out there was multiple rounds of live ammunition found on set.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Of a fucking film set.
Live ammunition just there on set.
Yeah. And when I heard that, it was so fucking crazy to me because like there is zero reason.
There's none.
Ever should you do that. This was an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, and that's the thing, because blanks can foul, and here's how a blank can foul. A blank is a shell without a bullet, but with like a air burst. So you shoot the blank gun, the bullet shell breaks and dispels from the gun, and nothing actually fires from it. But when the shell breaks, sometimes chunks of it and shrapnel pieces of it can get stuck in the barrel of the gun. And when that happens, if you shoot another shot, that burst of air shoots that bit out, and it basically acts as a bullet, shooting out bits of shrapnel. And yeah, and at that point, it's less like an actual bullet, but it's like shotgun shells, you know, where you get little multiple bits at once, and if it hits a bad place, it's a bad place, you know. But and yeah, that's how Brandon Lee, that's how he died on The Crow. But to hear it was like an actual gun. And yeah, because they call them cold guns on set, and apparently when he shot and he realised what happened, Alec Baldwin was screaming on set like, "Who gave me a hot gun? You know, why is this a hot gun?" Which is what they call them. Which and I don't know, it's just like it's so fucking. It was such an avoidable tragedy. Because
apparently a development with that is that Alec Baldwin, is actually going to be trialled for manslaughter because he was the producer.
I don't think. Okay, I mean, if that, I don't think that's. He is the producer, but he wasn't the gun guy.
Yeah, but
someone handed him that gun. That person should have checked it.
It's like, for example, if you own a workplace and someone dies at the workplace, you're trialled for it. So, like, because he was the producer, he was legally responsible for what happened on set.
I think.
Also, I thought that Daniel's argument around this topic was interesting.
What did he say?
Because his stance on it was that, yeah, it was this guy. It was his fault. Do you not remember?
No, I don't know. It's just I think it's such as I said, it was such an avoidable situation in so many ways. Like alright, so I'm a big believer in practical effects, but something like a gun, that is the easiest special effect in the entire world. Yeah. I could point my finger in a fucking little video and go me, and I could make it look beautiful.
Yeah.
Because that is so simple, and practical effects are great.
It was nothing to do with the actor Alec Baldwin. Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. Zero accountability. None at all. He was given a prop gun, and he shot it like a prop gun.
Yeah.
There's no reason to. I wouldn't even think to check to see if a gun that I'm given, if I'm acting on set, is a real gun.
Someone should have checked before you, because that's their fucking job.
There shouldn't be any real guns on set.
Exactly.
Stop. I mean, it's just mind-blowing.
But I think, for me, obviously real guns shouldn't be on set, but I think, and I really do hope this moves into the idea that, yeah, let's get rid of blanks. Like, that visual effect is so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Let's just use that from now on, okay? Like, seriously, stop putting people at risk for this stupid fucking thing.
Apparently most of the reason is for the whole realistic, of the physics of a gun.
Look, I get that, but when it's like, it's still a risk. It's so risky.
There's a much better point to take away from this. Guns should not be legal. Look at the UK. That wouldn't happen on a UK film set, obviously, because guns aren't legal in the UK.
I mean, the blank could still hurt them, but yeah, obviously a real gun would never be brought in.
It's not in public. No guns are allowed out in public or like on a film set. You can't have that in the UK. You can't even have. Actually, you can have special types of blanks, but they're like for races.
Yeah.
They're not the same as the type of blanks that you get with that. So it wouldn't be the same. They just need to ban guns. I mean, wasn't Biden supposed to be doing that? I thought that was one of the things that he said he was going to do. It was. Holy shit, it was, Joe. But yeah, it was. It was one of his promises. Actually, it was one of his promises. He said he was going to get rid of guns in America, and I remember saying that will never happen. Wow, I completely forgot about that.
That is true, but I don't think you can blame Joe Biden for this happening, dude. Like,
No, not for this specifically. I just mean, I'm just on the topic of guns in general.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, yeah. This is Joe Biden's fault. That's right. Alec Baldwin, this is not your fault. This is Joe Biden's fault. Single-handedly.
He knows what he did.
Yeah.
But it was terrible. And fucking, I really feel for the families and the friends of fucking Helena Hutchins. And I just, as a person, as a scriptwriter myself, someone who wants to make films one day, I just, man, if I, because films are supposed to be, films can be, not in the content, but in the idea of a film, it's like the opposite of death. It's like the best part of life. You're creating something that's going to outlive you. No one should ever have to die for that. It's not worth it. You know?
Some films have just been like that, haven't they? Do you know about all the stuff that happened to the people that took part in the production of The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, they went through, because that was back in the 20s, 1920s.
Yeah, to be fair.
So that was the only way, you're going to get lead poisoning. Duh! How else would we do this? Yeah, it was fucked up, but that was the way it went, Oh,
what is it? They was it you that told me this? Maybe they trademarked the voice of the actress who played Snow White, so that she wasn't allowed to act in anything else. Disney didn't let her.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Was it you that said that?
I didn't. No, but I remember being there. It might have been Dan. No, I don't know.
Who was it that said that?
I don't know, but I remember hearing it too.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Apparently, that's something that Disney do, because fuck Disney, they're a terrible, terrible company.
Yeah, fuck this. I think it was Dan.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. But the actress that voiced Snow White can't act in anything else. She signed a contract.
Well, she's dead. She's definitely dead now.
Yeah, now she is, obviously. But back then, that she might have been thinking, oh, I'm going to have such a wonderful film career. No, you can't act in anything else. Yeah. You're done.
Fuck 'em.
You're done.
But fucking my heart goes out to the Hutchins family.
Yeah, truly.
And honestly, because my heart goes out to Alec Baldwin too. I would be fucking.
You'd be devastated.
Yeah,
you
man.
Literally killed a woman, and to see her family.
She was a mother.
Yeah.
And a wife. And
Yeah. That's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. That will destroy him. I honestly think that will destroy him. He won't come back to film.
Yeah, the film, I'm pretty sure, has been canned.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to continue after that.
No.
I don't know.
I honestly think that'll be it. We will never see or hear from Alec Baldwin again after this.
Well, if he's got a trial, I don't know. You mean after the trial?
Until, if let's say he doesn't go to prison, he comes back, he will never do film again.
Yeah.
We just won't hear from him again, that'll be it.
Very much might be, and if so,
if that was me, that would be the truth. Yeah, you would just never.
You become a shell.
You would just
Because that's
who knows if mentally he'll even survive that. Me. Yeah, that would just be it.
And I've heard of, there have been studies on this. There is a huge difference psychologically between a premeditated murder and an accidental murder. When you kill someone by accident, that's obviously, as someone who's never done it, I can't probably verbalise it, but it's just it's so much more draining on a person to know that, because when you kill someone, you're responsible. You did that on purpose. You planned this, or you picked up the hammer or whatever.
If it's by accident, it's more
you made a mistake.
I did this.
Yeah,
I did this.
Yeah.
And you just live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you can't. That's the thing. If it's premeditated, you probably don't want to change it, but you would want to change that for the rest of your life. And it's just it comes with the guilt. When you personally kill someone, properly, you probably if you've done it for
you're a psychopath. You don't feel guilt.
Yeah, exactly. But for something like that, when a perfectly normal person instantly over and in the split second becomes a killer, it's I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know, but sets are getting sets aren't as safe as they should be. Another thing that came up in the news recently was, do you know the actress Ruby Rose? Ever heard of her?
No.
So she was in Orange is the New Black, she was in John Wick 2, and she played Batwoman. What's her name? Oh my god, Kate Kane. That's it. She played Kate Kane in season 1 of Batwoman.
Yeah.
So, after season 1, she left the show. And a lot of people weren't sure whether or not she left the show or if she was fired.
Mm.
So, recently, it's been like a long time since she left the show. It's been like an entire season since then. But very recently, she came out with a lot of allegations about the on-set treatment. And how apparently, because a very public incident that happened was that during, like, I think it was like the 6th week of filming for this, 20 episode show. So, like probably 2-3 episodes in, she almost broke her neck and was paralysed. Almost. She was almost paralysed. Luckily, the emergency surgery she had worked, and the discs that had almost completely, like, fucking slipped in her back, that would have, like, fucking, it would have paralysed her, didn't happen. They managed to save her. But that sort of surgery, you're supposed to take a good while. You're supposed to take a while to heal. Guess how long they gave her?
How long?
They gave her 10 weeks.
Jeez. Yeah.
And when she came back, she was a lot, she was a lot stiffer. But then she said that when she came back, the energy had kind of changed because she was, it was a lot more draining for her. She couldn't be as active. She said it seemed to her like a lot of the cast and crew had started to feel like resentful. And she even names 2 cast members. One she just names because apparently he was a dickhead. But another she names because he was like making snide comments, being like, well, maybe if, someone didn't come in late to work all the time and all that stuff, when she was, recovering from her surgery, stuff like that. But then she gets into some proper serious allegations about, like, just health and safety regulations. So one public incident that was talked about before this that she mentions is a woman did become paralysed on this show. I don't remember how specifically. I do remember how for the other ones, but for this one I don't. But this was known about, like, it was reported when it happened. One allegation she brings up here that it seems like no one had ever heard of. And if this is true and it was somehow kept out of the news, that's pretty big. But apparently, a man had his face burned off on the set by a faulty light.
That's insane.
And yeah, when she brought that up, I searched Reddits and, fucking news articles. I could not find a single thing about this. And that's a big thing to just bring up.
That's a big allegation.
So, like, I don't know, but yeah, and she calls out some cast members by name, as I said. She calls out some crew members by name, and she basically ends up being like, you guys, were awful. Then the CW respond, and their version of it is that she was fired. She didn't leave. She was fired because they had received multiple complaints about her. Now, here's where the story gets a bit tricky, because a PA who does give a name, but it could not be their real name, but they do give a name. They came to be a PA on the show, and they give a load of horror stories saying that Ruby Rose was like a fucking dictator on set. When she was coming in late from work, it's not because she was recovering from her surgery, it's because she was out fucking drinking and doing drugs and shit. But then Ruby Rose, she responds, and she's like, hey man, this PA, never fucking heard of you. You're not on any of the call sheets that I've still got from the show. In fact, you're not even on IMDb. You're not on any episode's credits. So who the fuck are you? And then she backs up some of her allegations by leaking some emails where it's them basically like, sort of. Here's the thing. In the emails, they are saying, like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But at the same time, they're saying, if you don't do this, you're going to fuck a lot of things up, essentially. But it's, them pressuring her to do, like, photo shoots where, even though, she's not, they've got fucking photos of her. She doesn't need fucking new photos for this. Just pick a photo. You've got photos. But they're like, no, you need to come in and do it with the cast. You need to do it now. You need to be in full costume with the cowl. And even though she can't put the cowl on and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, it's getting, like, messy. And it's still going. And, like, who knows where it'll end. But then, yeah, another cast member, one of the cast members who she named, who was, like, apparently making snide comments, came out and was just like, yeah, no, she was fired. And it is hard for a leading actor to get fired from their own show. So you can imagine. So he was, like, backing up that idea that she was, like, awful on set.
Mm.
But who knows? But yeah, the paralegic story, that's definitely true. But the face burning and shit, like, man, sets aren't as safe as they should be if that's true, because that's a big fuck up. Man!
Yeah.
Like, I remember being shocked when I read it. I was like, because if that is true, how do you sweep that under the rug too? You know?
Yeah. Dunno, could you?
I think you could, because that's the thing. It was the idea was that it was not the idea of. Sorry, I'm saying it like it's a fictional concept, but it's supposed to be a lighting technician, and they're not like big names, you know. So who knows? You know, it's not as if this happened to a leading actor. You know, it's just a light guy.
Mm.
I mean, you're just a light guy in our film, so sorry to undermine your position, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That is weird, though, isn't it? That is a very strong allegation to make.
It is. It really is. Yeah. But, you know, if she's got evidence and, you know, if something comes of it, I don't know. I don't trust CW personally. I think they're pretty greasy. And they do a lot of weird shit. Not just with their shows. Their shows are weird, though. But just in general, like, I hate the show Riverdale. And they make Riverdale, but... Yeah. A really famous thing that came out about Riverdale was that a cast member got into a car accident, and it was discovered that the CW don't pay for drivers for their cast members. Like, they do 16-hour days, and they do 6 day weeks, and you know after those work hour days where they're working into like 3-4 in the morning, they are expected to drive themselves home. And this guy fell asleep at the fucking wheel. Like, the least you could do for your actors is sort them out with a fucking lift.
Yeah.
Like, what? They have to... These are... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying actors are better than people, but this is, like, a weird statement to say out loud, but these actors have to drive themselves to work after, like, 16-hour demanding days. Like, they have to drive themselves back home? Like, no. Like, that's an accident waiting to happen, man. Like, plus you're not paying them enough for them to hire themselves limo drivers. Like, you know, like the CW, like Stephen and Mel. Right, compare this. Right, Big Bang Theory. They were making like 15 million an episode on the Big Bang Theory at its peak.
Yeah.
Stephen and Mel, and Big Bang Theory lasted for what, 11 years?
Mm-hmm.
Arrow lasted for 8. Stephen and Mel, at the peak of Arrow, was only earning 100k an episode. That's how little he was being paid for that show.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah, they're not paying their actors gold, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I don't trust... I would never work for the CW, personally. In fact, at uni once, I hope it wasn't a friend who said this, because I don't remember who did, but I remember someone at one point was like, yeah, I'd really like to do, like, a CW show. I'd love to work for them. And I remember just inside being like, ooh. Like... Would you? Like,
was this like Emmerdale, Riverdale style?
Yeah. Alright, so some of the shows they've done, they did they did a lot of superhero shows, but aside from those, they did the Vampire. No, they didn't do Vampire Diaries. Maybe I think they did. I think they did do the Vampire Diaries. The Vampire Diaries, the 100. You ever heard of that? They did Supernatural. You've never heard of Supernatural, man? They did fucking Teen Wolf.
Cringe.
Yeah. They've just done. They do a lot of random shit, to be honest. And yeah, they do it because they own. It's Warner Brothers who owns them, so you know they've got the DC library.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have a big DC multiverse that will hopefully end soon, because fuck, it's bad now. I used to love that multiverse, man. And it's weird because it's not like Marvel. Because when I grew up, Marvel stayed consistent. And in some ways, it kind of grew up with me, you know? It's like compare Endgame to the first Avengers, you know? It grew up with you in a way. But those shows, no, man, you just grow out of that. Because they stay the exact same quality, and that quality is bad. And as a kid, when I started watching The Flash, it started in fucking 2014. I was 14. I didn't care if it was bad. I was having fun. I loved The Flash. I'm a professional scriptwriter now. I can't watch that shit. A single episode of that show would probably kill me nowadays.
You'd have to kill a man.
It would. Man, I see clips sometimes on Facebook and I'll let it play. It auto plays. I'll let it play. And it'll be a minute clip and it'll be some of the dumbest fucking bullshit. And the Flash will, it'll be, this enemy's here. She's standing right fucking there. And the Flash will stop and be like, you don't have to do this. There's still time. And then she'll, go on for an attack and she'll attack, a random, guy. And he'll, he'll catch the bullet. And then, right after he catches the bullet, he'll stand there and he'll be like, you don't have to do this. Just fucking hit her, bro. You are the Flash. Just fucking run and hit the woman.
Yeah.
Why do you talk so fucking much, guy? Man, yeah, and that's the thing, because they are the CW shows. It's not like the Netflix shows. The Netflix shows were a proper superhero, blah. The Netflix shows are soap operas disguised as superhero shows.
Mm.
And that's the thing, they make meta jokes about it in the shows, where they'll be like, you seem sad, Barry. Do you need to talk with Mr. Corridor or Dr. Corridor? Because guess what? In every single fucking episode, one of them will be like, we need to talk outside for a sec. And they'll go into that fucking corridor and they'll be like, look, I'm not sure about how today's going. I'm not sure if this episode's going well for us. And they'll be like, there's still time. We can do this. Every episode. There's been over 100 talks in that fucking corridor.
That corridor knows.
That corridor's a better actor and character than most of the main characters in that show, man.
Corridor knows all.
Corridor,
seen all.
That corridor should be the final big bad of the show. They have to defeat it. But man, yeah, it really should have ended already because most of it is bad. And Arrow's the saddest one because Arrow in its first 2 seasons was really it was actually really good. But then series 3 was boring. It wasn't bad. It was boring, which some would argue is bad and makes it bad.
And Arrow is the one that's about
the Green Arrow, the Archer. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it was bland. It wasn't bad. It was bland. 4 was bad. 5 was really good though. 5 was great. And then 6 and 7 were so terrible. Just some of the worst television I've ever seen.
You've ever seen?
Alright, I haven't seen 7, so I can't actually rate that, but I've heard it's bad. But Series 6, and I don't do this with a lot of shows, man. I love TV, I'll watch anything. I got about 6 episodes in, and I think I paused halfway through an episode and went, like, what's the point? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm actively not enjoying what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this. Why am I forcing myself to watch this fucking show? And I just turned it off and went about my day.
That's really funny.
But Series 8 was different because Series 8 was a complete reinvention of the show. They, every episode set in, a different season of the show, and it's him going across the multiverse and fucking meeting past characters and shit. So I watched Season 8 and that was fun. But, man, there was so much of that show that was just bollocks. It was just dumb.
But that's part of the reason why I don't watch that much TV, to be fair. Unless it's comedy. Comedy and Squid Game, which I've watched recently. That's the only TV that I watch, really.
Unfortunately we can't talk about Squid Game because I haven't seen all of it. We will. I'll watch it for the next one. We'll talk about it in the next one.
It's good. Squid Game's good.
But TV that I watch, that I've watched for ages, and here's the thing, because here's how I know that, Doctor Who has been bad recently, but it's still not as bad as the Arrow shit. Because if it was, I do believe, I don't know, I love Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But I do believe there is a chance that I would have stopped watching. Because it is bad right now, but it's not horrendous.
So you still watch every episode that comes out?
Yeah, when it comes out too, and it's going to come out on Halloween, And I'm reasonably excited. I mean, I will be a lot. I think the excitement will kick in on Halloween. Maybe we should
start doing that. Maybe we should start doing Doctor Who episode reviews.
Yeah, when it comes out, it'll only be out for 6 weeks, so that's just
this
easy.
Is with the better.
No, again, it's not. It's Chris Chibnall still.
Oh.
I told you, Russell T Davies isn't coming back until 2023.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's just a next showrunner. It's still Chris Chibnall.
What, until 2023?
Well, it's only going to be 3 episodes in 2022. It's going to be a trilogy of specials.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So in total, until Russell comes back, there's only 9 episodes.
That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That does tell you a lot.
Yeah.
That really does.
I know. So yeah, until Russell comes back, there's only 9 episodes, and 6 of them will be this year. So yeah, we could totally watch them. But yeah, no, I think honestly, I think it's going to be fairly cool. They're bringing back the Centaurans, and they're making them like actual villains instead of just fucking stupid comic relief dickheads like Strax was. A lot of Doctor Who fans love Strax. I hate Strax. I loved him at first. I didn't love him at first. I liked him at first. But his shtick grew old. In maybe his 2nd appearance, and by his 3rd, man, I was like, man, someone kill Strax. Yeah. Like, Doc, lose your memory and be like, Centauran, and fucking kill him or something. Jesus, man, that guy was annoying. And the revival series of Doctor Who have done something that I don't enjoy with the Centaurans, alright? The Centaurans have appeared a lot in the revival, but they've only had one story where they are bad guys. Right? It was over 2 episodes, but it was one story. The Sarah Jane Adventures, which ended in 2011, only had 5 seasons. They had 2 stories where Centauran was a bad guy. Even the Sarah Jane Adventures have had more episodes where Centaurans were bad guys than Doctor Who have.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy to see them return as villains, because they are good fucking villains. They really are. I mean, the revival episode wasn't the greatest, but they appeared, sporadically in the classic series. And yeah, they are really good fucking villains. Like, and I'm looking forward to that. We're also going to have the Weeping Angels coming back, which will be in the Halloween episode.
Yes.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's been a while, and this will be the first time I think they're not written by Stephen Moffat, not including books or audio dramas or anything.
Could be bad.
It could be bad, but who knows? Maybe it will actually really be cool. It's been a while since we've seen them.
Imagine how funny it would be if he just ruins the Weeping Angels, just completely.
That would suck. That really would. But then again, Stephen Moffat literally made the Statue of Liberty a Weeping Angel, and I thought that would ruin them for me. But then again, I'm still fairly excited to see him again.
That's true.
And again, those 2 come back. We're getting the Ravagers, which hasn't been confirmed, but I think is going to be its first proper link to Big Finish, because the 9th Doctor audio drama.
Are what?
The Ravagers are interdimensional aliens who have history with the Doctor, is their official synopsis for it.
What do they look like?
We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't know yet.
But Big Finish, just last year, like late last year, so like still fairly recently, the first volume of the 9th Doctor Adventures was him facing off against an enemy called the Ravagers. The whole box set's called fucking Ravagers. If this is like a link to that, like that's their history with the Doctor. They faced him before. Yeah. He was the 9th Doctor. Obviously the 9th Doctor's not coming back. I'm not a fucking idiot. He would never come back. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be like a tie into Big Finish maybe, which I think is really, if they do that, that's really fucking cool. I wish they did more shit like that.
Why is the 9th Doctor never coming back?
Because he hates the BBC. The BBC blacklisted him for like several years.
What about the 10th Doctor?
What, Tennant?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he'd come back. He came back already, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to come back. When is it? The 50th?
Yeah, he came back in the 50th. He might come back for the 60th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially considering Russell's coming back, he might come back,
Yeah.
And it'd be weird watching that, especially if you watched the 50th beforehand, knowing like, 10 full years had passed.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, Matt might come back. I mean, as we saw when we went to the cinema.
He's busy.
Yeah, he is, but he's been doing movies, which is good for him. And yeah, he's on the Game of Thrones prequel, but maybe if he gets some time off, maybe if he has a free fucking couple of months.
I think Doctor Who was the first thing that I saw him in.
Doctor Who was his breaking role, for sure. Like, he was a relatively unknown before that.
Yeah.
Which was like, oh yeah, I think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to Doctors, that is, like, you don't want, like, an A-lister playing the Doctor, you know?
Mm.
You don't want, like, you know... I don't know who an A-list British person is.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah. You know, yeah, actually, yeah. I wouldn't want Benedict...
he'd suit the role.
He would suit...
Cast-wise.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want him to do it. It'd feel weird, because you would just be looking at the screen being like, Sherlock, it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
You know? You want someone who you can think of as like, yeah, that's the Doctor. You know, they become the Doctor to you. You know? Like, Peter Capaldi, he was like... I don't know, because he'd been in Doctor Who before, he'd been tortured before, but he was never the main focus and shit. I'd never seen him as anything as the main focus, you know? But he was the most well-known actor they'd cast in the revival as the Doctor. Right, he's a fucking Academy Award winning.
Mm.
Well, not actor, but writer.
Yeah. I guess it's sort of David Tennant.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, David Tennant was only really big for TV. He was like Casanova, is what he was known as. So yeah, Doctor Who very much made him the star he is today. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, Matt might come back. I don't think Peter would come back. I don't know, Peter Capaldi, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's disappointing. You know, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to, and that is fair. But he seems to, like, dislike the idea of coming back a lot. Like, he thinks that once... you know, the actors left the show, you know, you should leave the era untouched. Which, don't get me wrong, is fine in concept, but I don't know, I feel like he's discrediting the idea of one, multi-Doctor stories, and two, the idea of Big Finish, where they create stories that, you know, chronologically fit into the era. And I don't know, I don't know, 60th, I could take or leave him, but I really do hope he considers coming to Big Finish one day, because I would love more fucking 12th Doctor content. You know, he is my favourite, but if he doesn't want to do the 60th, yeah, no, fire, you know, that's fine. And Jodie, here's why it's tricky, because that's going to be his first one, and we talked about this before off podcast, but if they have to introduce a new Doctor in the 60th anniversary, one, that's going to be tricky, but two, if Jodie comes back, that's going to, like, seemingly overshadow the fact that we just saw her regenerate last episode. So would she be in it? I don't know. Or maybe that'll be the episode where she regenerates or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, it's going to be tricky if he has to introduce a new Doctor in the 60th, especially if he is planning on bringing back other Doctors.
Yeah. And we're still currently on...
13th.
Yeah. Jodie.
Yeah.
And the next Doctor's probably going to be a woman.
Well, I don't know about probably, possibly for sure, but it's not been announced yet. Yeah, I mean, no one can say probably for sure, I don't think. Who knows? I mean, I have no disposition to it.
Yeah, I think you said, as an I agreed, like, they'll have to have another female Doctor, otherwise it just wouldn't make it. It would look a bit weird.
It wouldn't.
Did it that one time.
It wouldn't really look weird, but it doesn't mean it has to be straight away, you know, like... You know, as long as, yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want it to be the only female
Next, it's going to be a black gay man.
It's going to be the fabulous godmother from Cinderella.
Honestly, if that happens, I will lose all hope in Doctor 2.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because especially, I don't know. Alright, here's the thing. If a gay actor wants to play the Doctor, that's perfectly fine. But sexuality isn't an important part of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Don't make the Doctor gay. In the same way, don't make the Doctor straight. I don't want the Doctor to be a horny guy. Yeah. I like my Doctor asexual. Don't get me wrong, the 10th Doctor and Rose, yeah, they had chemistry and it was fine and lovey-dovey and whatever. But, like, in general, no, I don't want the Doctor to fucking want to fuck his companion, whether she's a male or he's him, you know? She's a female or he's a male even. I just don't want that shit. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if a guy actor wants to play, I mean, who fucking cares? But you don't have to bring your sexuality to it in the same way a straight person doesn't.
No.
You know, just make your Doctor a neutral fucking, you know, he's the Doctor, he's an alien. He shouldn't be thinking about tits, fucking badges or cocks or anything like that, you know? Yeah. That's what, one of the cringiest lines in Doctor Who was when Matt Smith, because he only had a couple of episodes with Clara, and it was all about trying to figure out who she was. And this line, I mean it. Even as a kid, when I heard it, I was like, because it's a weird line. The Doctor goes, she's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, squeezed into a skirt that's just a little bit too tight.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, that's so... Yeah, it's cringe.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. The Doctor shouldn't be talking about anyone like that.
Yeah.
You know, anyone. That's so weird. That's not the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's like Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Flux. And don't get me wrong, could totally be shit. 100% it can be shit. It's still Chris Chibnall, but who knows?
It'll be fun.
Knows?
It'll be fun. Even if it is shit, it'll be fun.
They've got John Bishop in it. He's in it now as a companion.
Yeah.
And, you know, that reminds me of when they brought in Catherine Tate and she played Donna, who was great. So, you know, maybe John Bishop will actually...
I love Donna. I thought Donna was great.
Donna was peak. And yeah, so maybe bringing in John Bishop will actually really help and he'll have chemistry with them and it'll be great.
Yeah.
But yeah. And in some other news, Empire, the magazine. You ever heard of Empire?
No.
They're like they're a film magazine, TV magazine. Mostly do sci-fi and fantasy and shit. They are cool though. They've done a spread for Spider-Man No Way Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on this spread, they had some really fucking cool cover art for it, where it's a poster and it's like Doc Ock's fucking arms and it's like portals and shit. And then they did a collage, and in that collage, you can actually see Sandman's arm, which was like, what? But then they actually released the articles and shit. And in the article, they name drop a whole bunch of actors. And when you're name dropping something in an article about a film, why wouldn't they be in it? Why would you mention them if they're not in it? So these are the actors they name drop. They obviously name drop, you know, Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. Weirdly enough, they don't name drop Electro. No, wait. No, they do. I think they do actually, yeah. They do name drop him. No, they don't. They don't name drop him. Oh my god. That was a full roller coaster of emotions. They don't name drop him, but we know he's in it because he's confirmed he's in it.
Yeah.
And fucking... Oh, what is it? Yeah. They do name drop Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, which is good.
Yeah. But
then, to our surprise, they name drop Rhys Ifans as the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, and they name drop Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Which is really cool, because, yeah, those two have been rumoured for a while, but, you know, this is the first time their names have been brought up, so, yeah, it's safe to say they're probably in it.
That's good.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Kept secret.
No, but here's the thing. At one point in the article, they do indeed mention the names Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Do they?
Now, the reason they mention it is because they're like, you know, there have been, you know, reports and rumours circulating that, you know, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to think. But here's the thing, this is a professional article about the film. They don't need to talk about rumours. They don't need to mention that. There's a reason they've chosen to. In my opinion, that, essentially, the fact that they're mentioned in this article,
Tobey Maguire.
That's pretty much confirmation enough for me that they're probably in it. Because, like, yeah, this is a professional article that's supposed to be about the film. Yeah. Why would you mention someone's name if they're not in the fucking film? You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can reference it with the idea of, we're talking about rumours, but you don't need to talk about rumours.
Yeah.
You're choosing to for a reason.
Oh man, as soon as Tobey Maguire appears on screen.
I know. Oh man, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And talking of fucking Spider-Man, we recently saw... It's technically a Spider-Man spin-off, but it's not a spin-off of any of the Spider-Man films. It's just like the idea of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw the sequel to Venom. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. The first one is also very Just to quickly brush on the first one. Yeah, it's a bit pish. I actually think it's fun. Like, it is fun. I watched it a few weeks ago in preparation for when this was going to come out, because I expected to watch this a lot sooner. It's actually been out for a little while now. But, yeah, no. I mean, the first one was meh. I thought it was weird that they did all of this, and the fact that he had no relation to Spider-Man, which is such a big part of Venom. But I was like, whatever, you know, they made it work. But because the fact that it has no relation to Spider-Man, a big part of me, when I saw the first one, thought, I kind of hope they do keep this separate if that's the case. Like, use other characters in the Spider-Man lore, but make this like this is just a universe where everything other than Spider-Man exists in this universe. You know, maybe have Venom fucking fight a couple of Spider-Man villains that are, you know, kind of, you know, B-roll, you know. But, and yeah, we'll get to the, you know, in this, but, because Venom in this film, he's he's a good guy in a way. Like, there's this one joke where they're calling themselves the Lethal Protector.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to be a good guy. I don't understand why this Venom would be a Spider-Man villain.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And, like... Alright, so... This film, the main plot of it is Cletus Kasady, played by Woody Harrelson, who, man, he looks ridiculous in this film. Don't you think? I mean, the haircut they give him, for one, but then he suddenly has an outfit change when he breaks out of prison, and he wears he's dressing like a pimp. Like, and he gets like, he's wearing like fucking velvet suits.
Yeah.
And he does his hair even weirder for when he's doing his little wedding thing. Like, I think he looks really doofy in this film. He looks a bit dumb.
I don't know, yeah, a little bit, but as well. I think it went with, like, the character.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but in the animated series, it was more of a Joker thing. It was more like curled hair. And it was more like springy. But in this, it's flat and over the forehead, essentially. Like, I don't know. But apart from the visual look of that, yeah, no, I thought he did a good job. Especially, I think the highlight of his performance, and this is such a weird little highlight, but it was when he bit Eddie, and when he was like, I've tasted blood before, Eddie. I know that ain't it.
Yeah.
Eddie. Like, that was, that in that part, I was like, yeah, that's very much Carnage. But, I don't know, and Carnage is such a weird, interesting character. You asked me during the film if that's how Carnage was invented, you know, if that's actually his origin. Yeah, half true. The idea of it is that, the Carnage symbiote does come from the Venom symbiote. It doesn't have to be a bite specifically, but it is a part of the Venom symbiote. And as it is in this film, Venom is very much his father. Like, he is a part of Venom, but he's a lot stronger than Venom.
Mm.
And yeah, it can be through a bite. In the animated series, he literally just accidentally leaves a piece of the symbiote there. And fucking just Cletus fucking finds it, you know? So yeah, that aspect of it can change. But yeah, it's a spawn from Venom, yeah. And yeah, and a lot of this film, and I was kind of surprised by this, is like fucking Venom and Eddie break up. You know, they're going through like emotional trouble. Because I heard about this through some non-spoiler reviews that I read, that this film essentially has a romantic subplot, and that is between Eddie and Venom. You know, it's a love story between them.
It was interesting. I thought it was cool.
No, I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I wasn't expecting it, though, is because of that, there isn't much Venom can do in this. Like, Venom doesn't really, he only really has, 2 fight scenes in the entire movie?
Mm.
Most of it is Carnage doing wild shit.
Yeah.
And, the actual human characters getting themselves, but because and that's the reason for that is because they're breaking up and Venom's hopping through random hosts who can't support him. Like, I think the most he does when he's doing that is he goes to that fucking weird party and he gives that weird speech.
I thought that was
I don't know, yeah. They again, I can't imagine this one being, this Venom would chill. He's chill. Why would he have beef with Spider-Man? He's a chill fucking guy. But anyway, let's progress. But yeah, and then fucking, he breaks her out, you know, when he breaks out and gets the fucking symbiote. And when he breaks her out, he's like, don't panic, baby. And
he becomes a monster.
Yeah, and
she's like, oh, you're so hard.
And it's like, and yeah, I said this walking home, but when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. So she isn't really a character. She's just going to go along with whatever he does.
Yeah.
But then I realised a bit later, because, you know, they introduced the idea that fucking Carnage is very much happy with the idea of this girl dying. He'd kill her himself if he could. And then towards the end of the movie, he actually tries to. And, you know, and that's when I was like, oh, okay. So she's in this movie for 3 reasons. By the way, none of these reasons, quick spoiler alert, none of these reasons are to be a character.
Yeah.
The 3 reasons she's in this movie is A, to give Cletus a reason to break out and something to do, you know, a motive, you know. B, to give, so there can be some conflict between Carnage and Cletus, So like they can have some sort of argument mid-scene that can give a distraction so that Venom can swoop in. And then 3, or C, whatever we were doing, so Eddie, Brock and Venom can actually fucking survive the movie. Because guess what? Without her scream, there was no way in hell. Yeah. There was no way. Because fucking Carnage... Carnage is a threat that is big enough.
He even says at the beginning, "Get ready to die." No, not him. Us.
We're going to die. I did laugh at that line. I thought that was funny. But yeah, like there's a reason why in the comics when Carnage pops up, Venom usually fucking calls Spider-Man for help. Venom and Spider-Man team up because this guy is a fucking nutcase. Like this guy he's big news. And in that prison scene, I think they showed it really well. Like even in this movie. Like, yeah, that's why they fucking needed Shriek. Because without her wanting to fucking, without her being an obstacle for fucking Carnage to want to kill.
Yeah.
Eddie would have had his fucking... He would have died. He would have died. He should have died. He really should have. You're trash, Black. But yeah, and I don't know. I thought Michelle Williams' character, Anne, the ex-wife, her role... in the story felt a lot more natural in the first one. Like, it feels like she's only here because of a contract and because she needs to be. Like I don't know. I just meh.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't know, but I did like her interaction with Venom specifically and how they kind of have this weird relationship. Although I hated that scene where she was like trying to be sexy to Venom. I did.
So cringe.
I thought that was really fucking cringe because I didn't think that's what it was. I thought Venom was being like the ultimate bro, and he really wanted to see Eddie get with her. I didn't think Venom was attracted to her. So I was really confused in that scene. I thought Venom was just like the ultimate bro, and he was like, Eddie's got to be with this woman. He loves this woman. But no, maybe Venom just wants Eddie to be with her so that he can be with her, and he wants to fuck her for some reason. Who knows? He's been on her and in her because he was her symbiote. So who knows? But yeah, I thought that scene was real cringe. Yeah, I did enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, as well as that scene where what was her name? Shriek.
Yeah.
After just gouging that man's eyes out, we're like.
By the way, that guy in the comics also receives a symbiote.
Does it?
And I think its name is Toxin. But obviously that doesn't happen in this movie. But at the end, he does have that weird moment where, like, what does he do? Like, he wakes up and, like, something's beeping or something? I don't remember. But like, yeah, I thought that scene was a bit weird. It's clearly forced in the hopes that they do a... But then again, if they do a sequel, because, the movie ends, and then in the end credits scene, he's like in a fucking hotel room in a different country, and he gets pulled into what appears to be the MCU because on the TV we see fucking Peter Parker as Tom Holland's Peter Parker getting revealed as Spider-Man, which that was cool. Yeah, again I don't see this Venom being a Spider-Man, and then that gives me two thoughts. A, is he going to be in No Way Home? Because we know who the 5 members are so far, in that we know there's going to be a Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, Sandman, and Lizard. We don't know who the 6th is. Could be Venom. I don't think it's Venom. I think if he is going to appear in No Way Home, it's going to be in a mid-credit scene. But then that raises the question, are they going to use him for Venom 3, or are they saving him for Spider-Man 4? Now
I think Spider-Man 4 would be pretty awesome.
But again, I don't... Why would this guy have beef with him? I just don't get it. Not only is Venom chill, but Eddie in this is also chill.
Maybe they could do something new with it then.
I don't know, because, maybe they could just lean into the idea that they're friends. Because in the comics recently, they're friendly. Venom's a chill guy.
Yeah.
So I definitely... and that's another thing. Because, I had heard this... Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I had heard, because this was leaked, the end credit scene was leaked a little while ago, and people were saying that when he licks the TV with Spider-Man, he says, "I want to eat this guy." But when I watched it, all I heard was him saying, "this guy."
Yeah.
Is that all he said? Do you agree with that?
I remember him licking the TV. I don't remember him saying anything, but
yeah, he licked the TV. He said, "this guy." that could just mean he's really interested in him. Or, like, you know, he does want to eat him, but I don't think, like... I don't know, I can't see the fight happening. Or maybe, like, a fight, surely, but not a big, bad fucking movie threat fight.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be bros. They'd actually bro it out. Especially because, like, look at this Eddie Brock compared to the Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. That guy was a dickhead.
He was.
This
one's
an
asshole.
And this guy's just a chill fucking guy, you know, just trying to make his way in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't see it.
Yeah. See, unless it's something like, for some strange reason, the symbiote is, like, naturally drawn to Spider-Man because of something chemical.
I mean, no, because that's the thing. In the comics, the reason he's drawn to Spider-Man, and again, it's a big part of his origin, it's because Spider-Man was his first host.
Mm.
It was and I mean, Spider-Man's the one who brought it to Earth in the first place in the comics.
I mean, what if he's a completely different symbiote? But he was talking about how they're like hive mind, and he has access to memories of over 20 billion light years of stuff. So what if he actually, you know, another Venom in a different multiverse?
Well, no, I think hive mind I'd have to assume that'd be like the species in that multiverse. It can't be a hive mind throughout multiverses. That'd be so much information, you know? It'd be too much information. That's infinite information.
I mean, he said it would be so much that would blow his mind.
Yeah, but that's just because of the length of time and like.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
I think infinite information would blow anyone's mind.
Yeah,
you know,
it would. I mean, they did that in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
The Skull.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He's not. Obviously he's been rumoured to be in No Way Home, but fucking everyone has. Everyone's been rumoured to be in No Way Home. Yeah, Hector. Oh, I'm gonna have to bleep your last name, but you, Hector, have been rumoured to be in No Way Home.
Hector Monzellas.
Hector Monzellas, that's it. And yeah, and I don't know. I don't think he'll be in it. If he is, I think it'll just be a post-credit scene. But who knows? Maybe he will be. Maybe Tom Holland. Maybe Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't going to appear in it. It's actually just going to be a team-up movie with Venom.
They've done all of this was a prank.
Yeah, and
all of this build-up, even the trailer was a prank, the official trailer.
Well, no, because they're not, you know, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't in it.
That's true.
You know, they could genuinely be like, no, it really was just rumours. This is actually a Venom team-up movie, guys. You wanted Spider-Verse? What?
You're kidding.
That would suck.
That would really suck.
I might, honestly, I think I'd walk out of the theatre.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's actually, don't get me wrong, not just if Venom appears. If he appears, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if he appears and it's in lieu and in replacement of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, walking out of the cinema.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just fucking read about it on Wikipedia what happens next, because fuck that. But then we'll get home and we'll read, oh no! They did it!
Came back, yeah.
It was in the next scene! We missed it! They actually killed Venom in the very next scene! But yeah, overall, how much would you... Well, how much? But what would you rate it?
6.
Rate it 6?
Yeah.
I'm not that generous. I don't... Honestly, I was thinking like a 4, maybe a 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's actually bad.
No, yeah, I think it's actually bad. You don't think it's actually bad? Think it was just mediocre?
Yeah, I think it was just really, really standard.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think the first one's really standard. But I don't know. No, this one did still... It felt like a step down. It just... I don't know. And it wasn't visual... Like, the visuals were good. I think Andy Serkis did the best he could, but there wasn't enough story there. And that's reflected in the One Time did. What superhero movies these days are less than 100 minutes long? Like, what the fuck? This was barely a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I was so surprised when we got to the third act. I was like, damn, man. Like, the third act in Avengers... By the end of the film, I was like, the third act in Avengers was like... You know, just begun. You know? And that's in the first Avengers. In the third one, there would still be like fucking... There's like 3 Venom movies in the third Avengers.
Yeah.
4th even. Like, it's fucking... Yeah, it's barely a movie to me. And I think the story was just... It was really weak. And yeah, I honestly... Maybe a 5. Which I think is mediocre. I mean, that's
literally middle.
But at the same time, I don't think it was like I wouldn't want to watch that as an average movie. I don't think an average movie to me is bland.
I place it in the same sort of area that I place Transformers.
Oh, Transformers are fucking fours and threes for sure.
Yeah, I place it around sort of Transformers. That's what it felt like. It felt like a Transformers vibe sort of movie.
Honest, if that's the case and you genuinely believe that, then I am going to say 4. Because, Transformers are fucking scum.
What? So that bad? All the way at a 4 and a 3 for the Transformers? I would have put Transformers as like a 5 or a 6.
No. Dude, when's the last time you watched Transformers? Dude, they're fucking dreadful.
Yeah, but...
They're so weird and so bad. They're bad movies, dude.
I haven't watched any recently.
Dude, the 4th one is like weirdly sponsored by China. And when I say weirdly, I don't mean the fact that it's sponsored by China is weird. I mean the way they implement this sponsorship is weird.
How?
By like having like just fucking China's the heroes of the film. When the good guys need to get to somewhere safe, where else are they going to go? They need to go to China. And whenever there's like heroes in a scene, or like people who are like, the humans have to push back against the robots, it's Chinese soldiers and shit. It's just like weirdly sponsored by China.
That is weird. It's very strange. I remember like Transformers 1, when I was like 12 years old.
Look, okay.
In the cinema.
1, sure. You want to say 1's a 6? Fine. 2? No.
What happened in 2? I can't even remember.
2, the only thing I remember conclusively about 2 was the 2 weird racist robots they had throughout. They were just like, hey, Essie!
Oh my god. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know. But I remember. Yeah. I know my rating for that is a 4. Which is the same as I would give this. But then, honestly, 3, 4 and 5 are 2s. 3, 4 and 5 are fucking garbage.
I actually remember...
5 might be a fucking 3.
I remember... I can't remember the actor that plays in it. But...
Shia LaBeouf? Mark Wahlberg?
I think it's that one.
In the new one? Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. And I don't know who did this to this poor man on set, but this poor man's tan, his face colour, the fake tan that they put on, was changing every other scene.
Yeah.
Like, it was so noticeable, it was embarrassing at parts. Actually, it's actually so funny. I'm sure I can Google it and I'll be able to find it.
I don't know, man. Like, fucking... It also doesn't help that Michael Bay loves to make his films, like, really fucking vibrant. Which, don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing. But when that happens, that's going to pop out a lot more,
Yeah. Transformers.
No, Michael Bay, I think he's like... I don't know. I think he'd be a great director of photography. But I think he's a very incompetent director. He doesn't get good takes. He's not good at directing actors and, like, plotting story or anything like that. He's just got a good eye for cinema,
Yeah.
And admittedly he can do some really good action, but when the action is, superseded by the fact that you don't care about any of the characters in it, and you mostly can't tell what's going on anyway because all the robots look the fucking same.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
I just need to search orange Mark Wahlberg in Transformers. I know this was a thing because me and my brother noticed it while we were watching it.
No, but we're about ready to wrap this up. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of, no.
You did say at the beginning you had something you wanted to talk about. Did you bring that up?
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the SHIB thing. The cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah.
So there's a cryptocurrency that me and Dan and actually had bought into, and it's gone up by 17.5 times.
That's good.
Which is very good. That's amazing. That's like loads. I just wish I'd bought more.
What happened to make it go up? Was there an event that happened, or?
Originally, when it originally shot up, like about a week ago.
About a week ago.
When Elon Musk tweeted just the SHIB logo and it tripled.
Wow.
The value of it tripled instantly.
That's influence. That's an influencer.
That's actual influence. He could very easily have bought $3 million worth of SHIB, just tweeted the logo, and be like, "Oh yeah, I've got 12 million now. Okay, nice. I'll take that back out."
Million. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, he could have actually done that. He could have literally just
maybe that's how he's on route to becoming the world's first trillionaire.
Yeah, I mean, he could actually have done that. I mean, that's illegal. If you get found doing that, that's really illegal.
How?
To do that.
Why is that legal?
That's immensely illegal. You can get done.
Oh, you mean because you're influence? Yeah.
That's influencing the markets. That's life in prison, game over. You can't do that. You can't
That's cheating at Monopoly.
That's literally you just get put away for that shit. It doesn't matter. So I think it's unlikely he did, but I think it's likely he's involved with people that bought into it. And did them a favour.
Maybe he did do it, but he just did it for shadow accounts.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's just insane. How much it's shot up. It's just not doubled. It's not tripled in value. It's not quadrupled. It's not quintupled.
We get it. 17 times.
You're
gonna do this. You're gonna do the 17.
It's not quintupled. It's not eighttupled. It's not ninetupled. But that's just insane. It's just insane. If I put £1,000 in back then, I'd have £17,000 now.
Man, it's a shame you didn't. It's a shame you didn't tell me about it.
I mean, I think I did actually.
You liar.
Me and Dan probably did. Yeah. But yeah.
Do you think it's going to increase any more?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I mean, was always talking about how he envisioned it being worth $1. If it did that, my £40 that I've still got in there because I put another £40 in would be worth $4 million. So I think it's unlikely that it's going to do that because if it did, there's just going to be loads of millionaires.
Hey man, but I mean, just I'm wondering if that does happen. Any chance you could slip me a mail?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Shit, well, and that's on the podcast now.
Yeah.
Can't be unbroken.
But
for real though, man. Oh yeah, definitely ship me a mail.
I mean, if, but to put it into perspective, I'd have 4 million, have 4 billion, so that's not gonna happen.
Wait, does that mean he's put 4 million into it?
No, it means he's put 4,000 into it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, so he'd only have 400 million, not 4 billion. Yeah, so he'd have 400 million, which is still
that's almost $500 million.
That's a lot of money. So I think it's unlikely that would happen because there's a lot of other people.
What about 400 million? But you could make fucking 2 high fucking production feature films with that.
Yeah, I mean, what about the people that already have millions invested in it? What, they now have trillions?
Yeah.
Of course it's not going to reach $1. That would just be insane. It would just break the world's economy.
So how much is it worth right now?
Right now it's worth, one SHIB is worth 0.00006 pence.
And how much is it to buy them?
That's how much it costs. So it cost me 0.00006 pounds to buy one SHIB token.
Then why aren't we all just buying them?
I have. I've bought loads of them.
Well, I want to buy some now.
You can buy some too.
I want to, yeah. Can you talk me through after? I want to buy some.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, that sounds sick. Dude,
Yeah.
I know how cool the stock market is because that's the best way of becoming a multi-millionaire on GTA 5, the story mode.
Yeah.
You can, because there's assassination missions. And if you don't know this, by the way, listener, okay? No, listen to me, because this is proper. This is legit advice for you right now.
Yeah.
On the GTA 5 story mode, there are assassination missions that Franklin can do that Lester will put him to. Don't do any of them except the first. You've got to do the first to progress the story. Save all of them until the end. Now, these assassinations are based on attacking a certain head of a company. Now, if you go onto the GTA thing online, not actual online, well, yes, online, but sorry, I'm just getting confused. If you Google the GTA stock thing, you can find the competitor of that company. If you then go into the website thing on GTA, on the game, where you can then buy stock, you buy stock in that company, in the rival company. You do the assassination, you wait a couple of days, that stock bounces up by like, sometimes it could be up to like 150%. You withdraw all of that, you put it back into the original company, and then after a couple of days that company bounces back to where it was, and you take that money out, and you've like so much money. And you can go, and by the end, if you wait to the very end to do all those, you will have like 5 attempts to do it. And the rate can change, but there are certain rates you can get that's like, you might as well just take it out now, that's the best you're going to get.
So I think the amount I had like 300,000 ship tokens, but obviously 300,000 ship tokens was worth like 180 quid. But yeah, that's good. I think I recommend more people get into cryptocurrency. It's a good way to make some money.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I want you to actually tell me through it. But yeah, I think that's the end of the episode. It's been a good one. It's been a long one. Wow, it's been our longest one, I think.
Wow, 2 hours 24. Yeah, that is long, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's because it turns out we actually did have a lot to talk about. We were worried before this.
We were wrong. Yeah, we went for 2 hours. Yeah, there's loads to talk about.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. And yeah, we're going to be back pretty soon, because we're going to, on the day after recording this, we're going to be recording the Tusk commentary track. And this should be out the day before Halloween. And if it is a day before Halloween, then get ready, because it's coming out tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I mean, I always do that. I always say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I have been your host, Bradley.
And I've been your other host, Hector Mensuelas.
And I've been your third host. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
You've been sat here the entire time? What the fuck?
Hang on a second. So you're telling me the first Bradley died, got replaced by a random guy, but there was also another random guy here the whole time?
No, but Archie from the last episode also said he'd been... And there he is. He's wow. Man.
I mean, eventually, what this means is I'm also going to die and get replaced by someone else, and then it's just.
So in the core of the thing, there's 5 people in this room. One of them's a dead me. There's me. There's you. Archie in the corner. And this guy. This guy. He's refusing to talk now. Well, I guess we just have to leave that undiscovered. Maybe we'll bring it up in a future episode, but
we'll never know.
That's a loose thread right now that will be untangled one day. But there's 5 guys in this room, and eventually the characters are going to build up, and eventually this room's going to get really cramped, and we're going to eventually be like, somehow there are indeed 50 people in this room. There's 18 dead Bradleys.
They're making no sound at all. We have no idea what's going on.
They're all staring at us.
We have no idea how to leave the room. We've been trapped here for 18 minutes.
That's why we're recording so much content. But yeah, thank you for listening, and